yeah, this is my first time using it. So this is my first time using this new thing that we're using, but it looks like we are live at this point. Let me double check, make sure everything's good.
Are we live?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're live. Check the page. I think it's definitely live.
Let me see what we talking.
Yeah, I think it's live. Although it's not giving me a good preview. Okay, yeah, we're definitely live. Yeah, now we are. It takes a little bit of time to kind of get going, and then it has a little live. Yeah, it has a little live thing set, so everything is live at this point. So, all right, what's good?
Hold on. What is it? I just
clicked. Yeah, it's live. I see it. It's live. I see it on my page. It's live.
Why is it not playing for me then? What the hell?
It just takes a little bit of time, but no, it's playing. I see it in my preview. Okay, there's somebody here in the chat. The Dark Void. This is our nice little test run. You guys get the pilot episode. So let me know if you guys are those that are watching.
Okay, I see it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. We should be live. We should be ready to go. So yeah, tonight we're going to be talking. We've got Sports Essence live, talk about the NFL. We've got a preview for the Jets and the 49ers tomorrow. Baron, we already know what's going to happen with that. You know what's going to happen. The 49ers are going to take care of those crummy, no good for nothing Jets, bro. I mean, let's see if Aaron actually lasts more than a few.
Look, I'm gonna tell you this time, he ain't gonna run out there with this flag this time. I tell you, he ain't run out there with that flag again.
He should run out there with what's it called, with the stretcher ready, or run out there with the wheelchair ready or something. He's getting kind of up there in age, man. He's getting kind of up there.
Man, old now. You see his beard?
Whose beard?
Aaron Rodgers.
I didn't see his beard. What's wrong with his beard?
He getting them gray strands, boy.
But he's had gray for like years now.
No, he getting gray strands.
Yeah, but the thing about it, because he's a weirdo. Like when you're like super weird like that, because I'm older than Aaron Rodgers. So it's like, but when you're like, and I got some gray hairs. I get
you ain't older than Aaron.
I am older than Aaron Rodgers.
How old is Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers is 40.
38. Ain't no Aaron Rodgers no damn 40.
He's 40.
I thought he was 39.
No, Aaron Rodgers, he was drafted in 2005, I think.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers just turned 40.
Man. Yeah, he's
40. You ain't no that. You ain't over 40. Shut up, man.
I am 51 or 50, turning 51.
That's that player essence bull. This the NFL discussion. We ain't bringing that over here.
I know. I'm a few years younger than him. I'm like 3 years younger than him. But my point is that he's graying so fast because, like I said, he's a weird. He be doing weird stuff, man. He be doing weird stuff. He's just like I said. He's a weird dude.
Look, I'm put to you like this. Chat. Thank y'all for coming out to the very first episode. We're gonna recap everything like my man OJ said. It's gonna get pretty heated in here. I already can tell. Because OJ just be talking that snitch snash that don't make any damn sense. But since he played football, he think he just knows it best.
Didn't you play? You played Baron, right?
No, I did not. I did not play. Quick story before we get into this recap, people. Quick story about me. I was in high school, you know what I mean? I was one of the few people that drove at high school, and the high school I went to. So, I was kind of spoiled in that aspect, even though I was still hood, rich, and poor at the same time. I know that make no sense, but I'll break it down to you some other day.
I know what you're saying.
So I was, I was getting all the attention. I just had females on my mind. I actually tried out for the football team.
Okay.
And they made me do a 40 dash, and then they made me do some other stuff. And I just killed every last one of the things. And the coach was like, "Are you gonna play?" I was like, "Nah." I was like, "Nah, I don't want to play." I was too busy chasing girls, man, at that point in time.
Oh,
I did not care about playing, and they was mad. They asked me every year in high school.
I bet, because you have good size, and athleticism. So the fact that you didn't play, that's definitely. I think you probably could have been a pretty good pretty good, like strong safety or free safety.
No, they wanted me a linebacker for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, strong safety. You come down, like they call it a rover. Maybe like you kind of play up, kind of like it's like Troy Polamalu. Remember Troy Polamalu?
Of course, I remember Troy Polamalu.
Yeah, he would come up all the time. He'd come up and play. I mean, he can run and cover because you said he ran a pretty good 40. So you can run and cover on the field, but then you can also come up and be like a linebacker too. So like Troy Polamalu, I think that'd be.
I wasn't interested. It was females, wrestling, video games. I think I chose the right career path. I think I chose the right career path.
Yeah, I mean wrestling's doing pretty good. I mean AEW's not trash. So all right, let's get into this breakdown though, guys. We're gonna start off with the first game of the year. That was the Baltimore Ravens versus the Kansas City Chiefs. We got another spectacular game from the two-time league MVP, Lamar Jackson. It came up short. He came up short. 20-27. Lamar Jackson finished the game with 273 yards passing and a touchdown, 65.4 quarterback rating. But then he also had 122 yards rushing. So he had, what was that? That's 400. He had 400 yards, about 400 yards total. He averaged 7.6 yards per carry. So not bad. Patrick Maholmes, solid game. Nothing too crazy. Solid game. 20 for 28, efficient, 291, a touchdown and a pick. And that was his game. And yeah, pretty much both teams had no running game outside of Lamar. Like Derrick Henry didn't really do much. He got a touchdown, but not really much. Kansas City's the same thing. You had a little bit of doses of Pacheco, who runs like Captain Falcon. You had a dude runs like Captain Falcon.
That dude runs like the Terminator 2. What was his name?
T-1000.
He ran like T-1000 when he be running the ball. You know what's the liquid one name? With the one that turned into liquid.
T-1000.
Okay, yeah, that's what he ran. Like I was like, yo, he run like that. The dude run like he got 4 left feet. It's like, what is going on?
He's fast. He's like 4'3".
But he's cold.
Yeah, he's fast. He's fast. He's super fast, man. So basically, I watched the game. It pretty much came down to last possession. It was like a crazy ending sequence. Jackson had the ball, threw it to that big tight end Likely, who's looking pretty good for them. He had 9 receptions for 111 yards. And a touchdown, 12 yards per reception, led the team in targets as well. So he had if he would have been wearing one size smaller on shoe, he would have been in bounds and they would have been able to tie the game up at least. So Baron, what do you think about that? I know you're not a fan of Lamar, but what do you think about that first game?
I'm not a fan of Lamar Jackson at all. You know what I mean? I'm going to just keep it honest with the chat. If you're going to come here and watch us, which I hope you do, OJ is going to give you the politically correct. I'm going to give you the raw uncut. Like, minus the cursing. I'm going to give you the raw uncut. You know what I mean? You know, that's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you what Paul Pierce give you, but I'm not going to give you all that weird energy that he gives on his show. But I'm not a big fan of Lamar Jackson. I'm not. And the reason why is Lamar, if you watch the end of that game, how many wide open targets did Lamar have that he missed? Where they could have absolutely won this game, but he is so inaccurate when throwing the ball. The man was 26 of 41. I'm gonna say that again. The man was 26 of 41. You're not. You can't make it far with a guy that's that inefficient at quarterback. Why did we bring Derrick Henry to this team? Lamar Jackson is running 100 yards in this game. Why did we bring Derrick Henry over here? The Tennessee Titans showed you what Derrick Henry can do. All you do is just hand him the ball. Feed the beast. Feed the monster. Just give it to him.
He got. First of all, I'm not here just to give politically correct takes. Okay. First of all, time out. And second of all, Derrick Henry. I mean, I agree. The second half, he didn't really get many carries, but clearly Lamar was dominant. He was doing 7 yards per carry. nearly 7.6. Lamar was dominating on the ground. You got to go with that.
OJ, I got what you're saying, but this is the problem I have with Lamar Jackson. We got you here in Baltimore to play quarterback. The number one objective of your job is throwing the ball, not running the ball. This is why they got Derrick Henry in the first place, so he can not have to scramble so much. And we still doing it. He had 16 rushes. Derrick Henry had 13. You know how many rushes Derrick Henry get when he was on the Titans?
Yeah, and how many playoff games did they win? How many playoff games did they win?
But here's the thing: how many? They won quite a few. They got pretty far one year where they should have went to the Super Bowl, but they didn't. But they got beat.
What year? With who?
I forgot. I forgot
with Tannehill. There was no such thing as Super Bowl.
Bro, you gotta act like Tannehill didn't have at least 2 seasons when he balled out in Tennessee. Bruh. He balled out in two seasons. He balled out there. And he was able to ball out because people feared Derrick Henry.
Ravens ain't got a better chance at winning a Super Bowl. Kendrick Lamar about to win a Super Bowl before Tannehill even had a real chance.
Look, this ain't about Tannehill. This is about Lamar Jackson, his inaccuracy with throwing the damn football. When he's under pressure and he got to make them elite quarterback throws, he cannot make them. This is why I have a problem with him. There was too many instances in that game where he had an accurate pass. They win the game. You cannot beat a guy like Patrick Maholmes. You cannot beat a team like the Kansas City Chiefs if you do not make these elite throws in tight windows. You have to be accurate. You have to.
He was accurate on that last ball. Okay, the foot wasn't in. He was accurate, and yes, he did miss one before that. So I'll give you that. But
it was 2 before that. It wasn't 1. It was 2.
I'll say this: he's supposed to sit in the zone. I forgot what receiver it was. I think it was who's that guy that played for the Cowboys? Des Bryant. Des Bryant was saying on Twitter that you need to sit in that pocket. Zay keeps on running. You need to sit, and he expected him to sit in that soft pocket, and he keeps on running towards, like streaking towards, like the side pylon or something, like in the back of the end zone. He needs to sit there and right in that soft zone, and it would have been a touchdown. So that was on. He says, Des Bryant says that's on Zay for that one, but it looked like a miss. The second one likely was right there. He should have. I mean, he caught it. But just his foot's too big. That's really all it. And you got to look at it this way. I see what you're saying with the inaccuracy. I see what you're saying with that. But I mean, 26 for 41 was that 60%. So I mean, it's not the best, but it's not terrible. And the running makes up for it. So for every one missed throw, you've got pretty much a first down. Every 2 rushes, you've got a first down. Because his long was 16. So it's not like he ripped off one big 60 to 70 yard run or whatever. He was chopping them up. Every single run was effective. He was getting a first down almost every single run. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, you got to admit that's pretty good, right?
Well, I disagree. See, this is where I'm with the dual threat quarterbacks. And I think the perfect example of this, obviously, is Patrick Mahomes because he's the best quarterback in the league. In Lamar's case, they want him to be him, and I'm willing to accept Lamar for what he is. I don't think everybody else is willing to accept him what he is. He's a scrambling first quarterback. He's a throw guy second. That's what he is.
He's a 2-time MVP.
That's what he is. I'm not going to get on the 2-time MVP, but he has 0 rings. That's all that matters to me.
But, okay, yeah, you're right. No, look,
for people to try to compare him and put him in the top 5 of the QBs, which is ridiculous. He has no rings.
Okay, but can I say this?
No Super Bowl appearances.
Can I say that? Can I say this though? In terms of today's NFL QBs, Patrick Mahomes makes everybody look so minuscule. Nobody's won a ring. 2 guys have won a ring in the last 5 years, and one of them is talking in the booth right now. Okay, one of them's talking in the booth right now, and the other one got so lucky. Stafford and his. Oh my God, he got so lucky to even get to that Super Bowl. And on top of that, the Chiefs had the Bengals dead to rights. That Joe Burrow Super Bowl was a little bit fraudulent because the Chiefs had them dead to rights, and they met in a very rare time in where they completely choke They were up by like what 2-3 scores or something, and then Joe Burrow.
And
So I mean, the only person
why
who's won a Super Bowl
why did the Bengals beat the Chiefs?
because the coaching staff choked.
Because of Joe Burrow, a guy that can make elite throws under pressure when it counts.
How do he look today? But I'm just saying, like, listen,
wow.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But what I'm saying,
he got over the hump. He ain't got his ass.
He got lucky. He got lucky. That Super Bowl was a lucky Super Bowl. That will not happen.
I don't think that's luck.
Again. That's why Joe Burrow. Listen, I like Joe Burrow. I think he's he's an elite quarterback as well. I think he's an elite quarterback, but he's injury prone. And if you can't be there for your team, then you're not necessarily the best, right? You're not like Patrick Maholmes if you're always hurt. Part of being good is also staying healthy. Part of being elite is staying healthy. People say, "Oh, John Elway, he's elite." Yeah, because he stayed healthy and he won Super Bowls.
That's true, but also part of being elite is evolving your game. And this is where we go back when I segue back to Lamar Jackson. What Lamar Jackson needs to be is somebody like C.J. Stroud. What C.J. Stroud did today was very impressive. We'll get to him later, but that's a guy that has arm talent, but also has scrambling talent, but knows how to use each one in certain situations. You know what I mean? A guy like Josh Allen, and we'll talk about what he did today. That's how you're supposed to conduct your offense. You know what I mean? Josh Allen is a guy who never stops looking down the field. If you give him an inch, he's going to take it. He's going to sling it in there. You better have some good coverage because it's going to be a touchdown.
What happened last year, though? I mean, listen, I think THD brings up a good point. What happened last year between CJ and Lamar?
Yeah, we know what happened in the playoffs.
Yeah, they got blown out.
In the playoffs.
They got blown out. And Lamar looked like the greatest player on that field. Now, listen, CJ's awesome, and we'll get to CJ in just. I think he's very good, and I think CJ's going to be. I mean, he's got weapons now, so I think CJ's even more deadly this year because he's got Diggs and he's got Joe Mixon, and both of those guys had big games today. So
yeah, my main thing is like I don't. The Ravens probably will end up maybe 1 or 2 games less than what they won last year. That defense is still great.
The Ravens, that defense was looking kind of without Patrick Queen in the middle there.
That was the Chiefs. So don't that was the Chiefs.
Yeah, but they were just
going to make it work no matter who they playing.
Okay, that's. But I'm not so sure about that defense. They were.
It was still only 27 points, but
they had a blown coverage. They had. I don't know.
It's the Chiefs. It's hard, but with the division they are in, and what I seen out of that division today, they ain't got nothing to worry about on the defensive side of the ball. They ain't got nothing to worry about. So,
I think
they'll get their running game. They get the running game going, but the thing is, I have to see Lamar. He has to improve as a passer. I don't want to see Lamar Jackson being the top rusher. You got Derrick Henry. You brought him over here for this reason. Let Henry cook.
He's there. Let him cook. One more thing before we move on. Otherwise, we'll be on this all night. So let me ask you a question. One person's averaging 7.6 yards, almost 8. One person's averaging 3 yards. Who do you give the ball to?
Huh?
One person's averaging 8 yards per carry. One person's averaging not even 3.5 yards per carry. Who do you give the ball to more? Who gets the ball more?
If one of them named Derrick Henry's getting the ball. We see what he can do. He can turn a nothing play into a touchdown. That's how hard that man runs.
I get it, man.
That man wears down defenses through the game. This is why we always see him break out in fourth quarters in the second half of games because they can't take no more hits from this guy.
Okay, if
he
Lamar
wears them down, but the fact of the matter is you don't let Derrick Henry cook in the second half of the game. What did you bring him here for?
Okay, I agree. We'll end on that one because I do agree that they should have ran him more in the second half. So I do agree with that one. So Brazil. We're gonna move to the Green Bay Packers versus the Philadelphia Eagles in Brazil. Players were worried about getting gang wars, getting capped. Everybody was okay except for Jordan Love. Jordan Love's knee did not make it. So that was the big story. The Green Bay Packers lost 29-34. Philly's defense looked absolutely terrible, like always. Philly's defense looked like a sieve, like always. And Jalen Hurts looked okay. I watched the game. He had a lot of yards, but he had 2 interceptions. He was 20 for 34, 278, 2 interceptions. He took 2 sacks. Jordan Love played okay. 17 for 34, 260 yards, and 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. But the big news here, Saquon looked good though. 24 carries for 109 yards, 4.5 average, 2 TDs. But the big thing here, man, Jordan Love's knee. Looks like an MCL sprain. Looks like he's going to be out 3 to 4 weeks, maybe or so. And at the end of the game, it was like Hail Mary. It was like they weren't going to win. They weren't going to get in position to win. And he's in there, and one defender comes kind of high, another defender comes kind of low, and he goes, boom, hits him right in the knee. And, Jordan Love, he's tall. He's like 6'4". So, those knees and all that already are under some pressure. So what'd you think about the Green Bay Packers and Philadelphia Eagles? I'm seeing more of the same from the Eagles. That's my takeaway, is that the Eagles defense is still trash. Like they've got offensive weapons. They've got more. Obviously, Saquon. They got AJ. They got Devontae. They got Dallas Goedert. They locked up all their receivers. And to be honest, they're considering the receiver prices now. They did a good job of getting all those guys signed for underneath what some of the top receivers are making. But at least no, they're in the top receivers. But what I'm saying is, like, it could have been worse if they waited. But what did you think about the Eagles versus the Packers?
I think the Eagles got lucky that Love got hurt because they probably wouldn't have won that game. But the offensive side of the ball, they're looking a little bit better. I'm still worried about Jalen Hurns. I tried to tell people last year when I first seen Jalen Hurns, I was like, he looked like he took a step back. I think I just think the scheme that they had that year when they went all the way to the Super Bowl is like people just wasn't ready for it. It was something that teams were just not ready for. It was something different than they saw. Now that you've seen what Philly can do and people are playing them differently, now you're starting to see the real Jalen Hurns. And it ain't looking like a top 5 or 10 quarterbacks. So
He's not. I mean, he's paid that way, but in today's NFL, you have to pay the quarterbacks a king's ransom because it's such a hard job to do. Like, most guys are going to be terrible at quarterback. The large majority of quarterbacks that come into the league are just going to not be good. So you got to pay people that would never get paid 10, 20 years ago.
I think Jalen Hurns, he's a mid-tier quarterback to me. I know that will upset some people who are Eagle fans, but that's where I see him, and the way he plays now is kind of what I thought he would be anyway. So I don't really have too much bad to say about Jalen Hurts, but I think people expect more out of him. But I think this is pretty much where he's going to be. He's going to have games where he's going to just razzle and dazzle, and most games are just going to be kind of average, like he had today, was just kind of average. Even though he almost threw 300 yards, them 2 interceptions was
two picks.
You know what I mean?
Those 2 picks were bad picks. It's not like they were like, okay, he was reading and then somebody made like a crazy break on the ball. They were just kind of bad picks. I mean, Jordan Love had a bad pick as well, but I mean, listen, the Green Bay, their backup is Malik Willis, and
I don't know what Green Bay is going to do if Jordan Love misses. I mean, I don't know what
they've got to sign somebody, because I don't think Malik Willis is the answer. I mean, Malik Willis, he played at Liberty, and at Liberty College, a smaller school, and he wasn't necessarily incredible. He was good there, but it wasn't like he was lighting up the charts and like breaking every single record or everything. It wasn't like he was that. So, I mean, that year was notoriously bad quarterback year. What was that? That was like 2 or 3 years ago. I think that was the year that Pickett came out. So, like, there was just like
I'm
nobody,
So they're gonna have to figure that out. I mean, there's some people sitting on the couch right now that's that could be a service. I think. Who do
you think maybe they can? I mean, I'm not really sure what the best free agent quarter. Yeah, I'm not sure what the best free agent quarterbacks are. I don't think there's really much. What's it called in the booth?
Or they can make a trade. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Matt Ryan's in the booth. Tom Brady's in the booth.
Yeah, Matt Ryan said he's not coming out. They had that chance last year.
Yeah, Matt Ryan's not coming out. I mean, all the good or solid backups that are like that have got experience, they're all signed.
Where's Gardner Minshew at? Is he still?
He's the starter for the Raiders.
Oh man, I didn't know he started for the Raiders today.
Yeah, that's
boy was the starter now.
No, he's the starter for the Raiders. That's how bad it is. Gardner Minshew's a starting quarterback in this league. Sam Darnold
I didn't
is a
even
starting
watch
quarterback
that game
in this league.
I didn't know he was a starter.
Yeah, that's how bad it is right now in Barron. It's so devoid of quarterback talent. Guys like Sam Darnold and Gardner Minshew are starters. Like, starters.
Well, the highlight for Philly is obviously Saquon Barkley. He basically told you that the Giants was keeping him kidnapped for the last 2 years. It really diminished what he can do, and he showed y'all today that he is that man.
We're gonna talk about that because the Giants are morons for not. I think all he wanted was like 13 or 14 million. I think he didn't want McCaffrey money. He wanted a bit below McCaffrey. I mean, nobody in the running back position gets paid what McCaffrey gets paid, which is fair because McCaffrey is also a receiver. McCaffrey maybe should even get paid more. I mean, if you're just basing it off of, production and like what he does, because McCaffrey catches the ball like a receiver as well. So, I mean, I don't know what the Giants were thinking. They had the money to pay him too. Like, I don't know what they're thinking. They're not paying Daniel Jones $50 million. Daniel Jones gets paid. I mean, he doesn't deserve the $40 million that he gets paid, but it's under what the top quarterbacks make. I mean, they're paying Trevor Lawrence $55 million, and he's not a $55 million quarterback, but in today's NFL, he is. So anyway, that was the Eagles versus Packers. That was the first game ever in Brazil. So NFL, congrats.
That was interesting. That they wasn't supposed to wear the green color or something like that. You know what I mean?
Man, I don't know.
What was that about? That was like some gang affiliation,
that gang stuff. But they did tighten up security, like the Brazilian piece. Like, hey, we're gonna tighten things up. Don't worry. Like, we're gonna have everything locked up. So they spent a lot of resources making sure everybody was safe. So.
If I was a player, I damn sure went over.
They didn't want to go. A lot of the players didn't want to go because they couldn't go out. They had to stay in the hotel room the whole time. So
nah, man, I can't do that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell Goodell, run me my money.
Well, Brazil
just find me. I'm gonna be at home.
Brazil paid them that money to get that game, so Goodell's like, "You're going." Brazil definitely was happy about that. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next game. We got some other kind of, like I said, weird games. You got Arizona versus Buffalo. That was an interesting. Josh Allen went off. 232 yards. 2 touchdowns. He had 9 carries for 39 yards, another 2 touchdowns. So pretty big game from Josh Allen. No interceptions, which is the most important thing. No interceptions. Good QBR of 90. Kyler Murray still can't find open receivers. And Marvin Harrison Jr., 1 reception for 4 yards and only 3 targets. What is going on?
Well, I'm gonna stop you there because I actually watched a bit of this game because I obviously me as a guy who was a former Cardinals fan. I wanted to keep tabs on Kyler Murray, and boy, I was pleasantly surprised. This is the Kyler Murray that we saw the first year or the first year and a half we seen when he got in the league. I think he's finally healed from that injury. I think last year he wasn't fully healed. He's healed now. That boy was scrambling all over there. He was looking like Speedy Gonzalez. He was over there looking like Mighty Mouse running around in the pocket. I was like, this is we used to have. He wasn't moving like this last year. I mean, Kyler Murray was definitely throwing some dimes in this game. It was some lasers, some tight window.
Yeah, but
this is Kyler Murray I remember. But the thing is, he ain't a lot of talent on that team.
Only 3 targets to your best talent. And I saw he had a wide open Marvin Harrison Jr. and he missed him wide. I mean, he didn't even throw the ball to him. Marvin Harrison Jr. was wide open, blown coverage, did not get him the ball. He had 5 carries for 57 yards. So yeah, he basically averaged a first down plus per carry, although his long was 29, so a good chunk of that was on 1 play. But yeah, he was scrambling. I did see it. He was scrambling. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole game. I did watch some highlights. I watched it. They was up on Buffalo. They definitely should have won that game until Josh Allen went Superman.
But the thing is, I gotta say about this. This is not indicative on Kyler Murray. I think Kyler Murray played a pretty good game. It's just they ain't really got much talent on this team. Yeah, you're trying to say his number 1 option is Marvin Harrison Jr. That should not be your number 1 option.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is a number 1 option receiver. Did you not watch him at Ohio State?
I watched him at Ohio, but he's a rookie. That should not be your number 1 option on your team. This team used to be loaded with talent.
It doesn't matter if he's a rookie.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. I mean, you gotta allow rookies to have a time to adjust to the league. That you should not expect him. Everybody can't be, out of the gate. It's spectacular. They gotta adjust a little.
Yeah, when you only have
it's not a lot of talent
targets
around Kyler on his team, and what he was doing today was very impressive with people. I ain't even know who these people were. He was throwing to that was catching the ball.
He's got the same guys. I mean, he's got Connor.
Connor is still there.
He's got Orch.
The offensive line looked like it got better. So it's just their defense is still kind of trash. That's why the Bills.
Their defense their defense is bad. I mean, their defense definitely is not looking good at all. And what I'm seeing here is that I'm seeing they had 2 sacks, so they did kind of get a bit, but the QB pressures, the QB hits, they weren't really hitting Josh Allen much because Josh Allen's elusive, so it's hard to get him in the backfield, But yeah, I mean, like I said, overall, I thought it was an okay game. Josh Allen spread the ball around. I mean, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He had 9 different people catch the ball. Spread it around. They have Marquez Valdez Scanling. He's on the. I didn't know he signed with the Buffalo Bills now. Okay. So yeah, I mean Keon Coleman. That's their number 1 guy that they have now that Stephon Diggs is on the Texans. So yeah, he spreaded the ball around. I just think that for this game, bad defense. Obviously, Kyler Murray coming back. Looks like he's full strength, especially with the running game. But I do think that Marvin Harrison Jr. They need to get him more targets. They need to get him more. 3 targets is just not enough at all for that talent.
It's not. But you got to keep in mind who they was going up against. I'm pretty sure Bills got nice cornerbacks. So
Bills don't got not nice anything on defense.
Boy, stop playing.
They have
pretty nice corners.
I mean, they got Taylor Rapp is good. I mean, but
they got pretty nice corners. But the fact of the matter is, if Harrison Jr. got locked up in his first NFL game, that doesn't really bother me.
He got locked. He was wide open. He was running wide open on one play. Kyler Murray running around like you said, like Speedy Gonzalez running around.
He doesn't have the offensive line is still it improved, but it ain't that great. So
their offensive line was solid. Did you see what they did to the Cowboys? 200 yards rushing.
It was the offensive line is improving, but the thing is they have no defense. But shout out to Josh Allen. That is how you are supposed to be a dual threat quarterback. That is how a dual threat quarterback is supposed to play. Guess who the leading rusher was on the Bills? It wasn't Josh Allen. It was Cook. It was the running back who did the most rushing on there.
The leading rusher.
Josh Allen runs when he has to. Okay. That's the difference. We don't draw up plays. They don't draw up plays not too much. They draw up plays every once in a while for him to run right off the gate. But they don't draw up plays for him just to run.
Well,
they draw up plays for him to throw the ball down the field first because he is a quarterback.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Who is a good runner? Ramon Stevenson, 25 carries, 120 yards for the Patriots today in a big win against the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow, 16-10. Very exciting. Jacoby Brissett at quarterback for the Jacoby Brissett at quarterback for the New England Patriots with 121. This man throws a flat, and this dude throws to the flat every flat.
Hold on. Just stop. Just cut the show. You get beat by Jacoby Brissett.
Ask your elite quarterback Joe Burrow how he got beat by Jacoby, bro. He got beat by
Jacoby Brissett. I didn't even know this man was still starting. I didn't know he still had a starting job.
Bro, they drafted Drake May. Drake May did not look good in preseason. He looked okay, but he did not. They're like, and then like the new coach Mayo, Mayo, he was a former player he's like, dude, we're not playing someone that can't play. So they're starting Brissett. I mean, if it was probably Bill Belichick there, but Belichick would have started the rookie, like he started Mac Jones. But they're like, hey, look, this is the best option we have. And the best option is Jacoby Brissett. So Jacoby Brissett got the win. Joe Burrow, he threw a lot of short passes, it seems. I mean, he was 21 for 29 for 164 yards. I mean, barely, not even 6 yards per pass. Got sacked 3 times. They had no running game whatsoever. Zach Moss leading, not even double-digit carries, 9 carries for 44 yards. Had a touchdown, though, but maybe they should have gave him the ball more. He was averaging 5 yards per carry. But yeah, this game sucked, dude. There was like really nothing. I tuned in for a little bit. I'm like, this is boring. And then I moved off of it. Jamar Chase, after holding out, saying that he's holding out. I need a new contract with 2 years left. Says, all right, I'm playing. Like legit. He held out all the way and says, no, I'm playing. Like, what's going on here, Jamar? I mean, like, listen, like you got to at least wait till you have 1 more year left in the contract. You can't hold out for a new contract 2 years. You have 2 years left in your contract and you're holding out. You're going to play because then you're not going to get paid at all. And you got that case, he's got that child support case. So he's going to need that money.
That boy thought about that child support payment. I'm
absolutely, because they're going off of what he makes. They're going off what he makes.
I'm about to play, bro. I'm just.
I don't think he got any other. He don't got any other kids either.
I was just kidding, I'll be at camp tomorrow.
He was. I'm kidding. He's like, I can't be losing no game check, bro. I need those 100 and how much he's probably getting paid? Like $400,000 game. I need those game checks, bro. I mean, imagine not getting paid $400,000 when you're supposed to get paid $400,000 for the week. Like, imagine that not going into your account.
Yeah. This game was a garbage game, but just quick notes real quick. Shout out to Mayo. He's kind of brought back the defensive mindset that New England is kind of known of, because that defense was impressive to stop the Bengals the way they did. I got to give him credit for that. But at the same time, I'm not going to get on Joe Burrow. He's coming back from ACL, so you kind of got to work. You got to work your way back in. But getting rid of Joe Mixon was obviously a dumbass move.
That was. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why. It's not like Joe Mixon was making a lot. Joe Mixon took a pay cut the year before to stay again, and he was willing to play on that same. He was willing to play on that. So I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
Yeah,
I guess they thought they look at Joe Burrow like he's Peyton Manning, which I can get. He can be that type of caliber quarterback, but he's coming back from a serious injury.
Can Joe Burrow be that type of caliber quarterback?
Yes, but he has to work his way back from that injury.
Okay. Are you sure he doesn't need all pros around him to be good? Because that's what Brock Purdy needs to be good. Are you sure he doesn't? Because that's what Joe Burrow's had his whole career, since college. He's had the best. Who did he have in college? What? Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Who did he have since he's been in the league?
But the thing is, the pieces around Joe Burrow changed. And he still got the same. You still got the same production out of him. That's the difference, though.
When did they change?
I'm talking about the receivers he got when the rookies came in, and the people like AJ Green and all them. His production did not change. But the thing is, with Joe Burrow, though, I said give him about 4 weeks. He'll be back to being Joe Burrow.
They always start. They start slow.
It's kind of hard. They do. It's kind of hard to come back from that.
They always start slow, which is why they're not going to win the Super Bowl. Is why you can only get so many chances. That's exactly why you can't be starting slow every year, getting pummeled every year. That's why you're not going to win the Super Bowl. There's stuff like that because you're starting slow. One time you're going to start too slow, then not win your division, and you're not going to get into the wild card. You're going to play so bad. So
I mean, what 7 teams go now, so I don't think they ain't got nothing to worry about. They got plenty of time.
I'd be careful. If I were there, I'd be careful. You never know
what they scared of. The Steelers who can't score a touchdown.
Hey man, Justin Fields can run.
Yeah, that's all you seem to be impressed by. People that can run.
Justin Fields can run. Hey, look, Lamar Jackson's a much better Justin Fields. There you go.
But all right, let's move on to the next game.
Next up, we've got you get smacked by Sam Darnold. You need to go. You might need to decide if this is the right profession for you, bro.
If you getting your cleats, your cheeks clapped, Sam Darnold, you need to rethink. You need to throw the whole organization away.
Yeah,
at this show, release every coach, release the whole staff.
At this point,
if you're getting your cheeks clapped from behind with shots, this man completed 10 passes in a row, and this man was about. You need to get rid of everyone.
I mean,
everyone. everybody.
The funny thing about Sam Darnold, he looks like what's his face? He looks like Todd from Breaking Bad. Looks like remember Todd from Breaking Bad? That one he looked like got Todd from Breaking Bad out there crossing you up, bro. Sam Darnold, 19 for 24, 208 yards, 8.7, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. You know, got to have that Darnold pick in there. But who's even worse? Daniel Jones. Like, look at this stat line, bro. Look at this stat line. Look at this stat line, bro. 22 for 42. 186 yards. He's averaging 4.4 yards per completion. 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, sacked 5 times for minus 20 yards with the quarterback rating of 44. This guy is trash. The Giants organization is garbage. They got those 2 lucky Super Bowls.
No, that wasn't luck.
Yes, it was. The helmet catch. The helmet catch.
Not luck.
Look,
You never sit up here and disrespect my homie like that. That's not luck at all.
the helmet catch was luck.
That is sheer determination and talent.
My goodness.
That's not luck.
That was luck. That was so much luck.
Just swinging at the ball as you coming down, that's not luck, bro. That's determination and grit.
At least one of those Super Bowls were luck. I mean, look, they have no running game.
He just had Tom Brady's and the Patriots number. Eli just had their number. That's all that was.
They have no running game. Devin Singletary, I mean, he came over, I think, from the Buffalo Bills. He's not gonna. I mean, he wasn't necessarily
He wasn't a star over there. He barely got the ball.
I mean, he got the ball, but he barely
got the ball in Buffalo. So
yeah, it's just a cheap option at running back because you can pay him like $2 million or $3 million or whatever, and like he's serviceable, but it's not Saquon. Who is making all the money on this? I'm trying to see why they did not have money to pay. I'm going down this list, and I see nobody who's making anything. Where did the money go? Like, honestly, like, where is the money at? They've got revenue sharing. The Giants are a huge market team. They've got plenty of money. Why didn't they pay Saquon? This is insane. They've got nobody on here that's worth to make anything. I mean, honestly, on the offensive side of the ball, like, who do they have? I mean, they drafted Malik Neighbors. He's on a rookie contract. Who are they paying? I'm looking through this roster. Like, look, Devin Singletary, Wan'Dale Robinson, Eric Gray, Tyrone Tracy Jr., Malik Neighbors. That's your new rookie.
Some of that defensive players got good.
Yeah, but on the offensive side of the ball, usually what you do is you kind of split it a little bit, right? Sometimes you might be a little top heavy or bottom heavy based off of like offense or defense, but there's nobody here offensively that is making any serious amount of money outside of Daniel Jones. Defensively, I know that they got a big nose tackle that they paid big money to. I'm looking through the defense here. I know they got Dexter Lawrence, but who are they paying? Who are they paying to the point to where they couldn't give Saquon like 14-15 million per year?
Listen,
ridiculous.
Listen, it is ridiculous, but I think it was best for Saquon to get the hell up out of there because this organization don't want to win football. They don't want to win.
Yeah.
If you still had I was going to say Sam Darnold. If you still got Daniel Jones as your quarterback going into 2024, you ain't trying to win.
They paid him 40. No, they felt that he was gonna. They paid him 40 million.
I know
it's like 40 something $million.
You got to do what Denver did. You just got to eat the loss, bro, and move on.
Like, they're not gonna eat that, bro. They don't even want to pay Saquon. They're not gonna eat that money. Hell no.
Bro,
they're not going to eat that. Not with those New York taxes.
There's no way this fan base is going to be able. They're not going to sit up here and watch Daniel Jones for a whole nother season.
Yeah, did you
I don't know. On him before the mid of the season? They got to make a decision on him.
Well, I mean, there is nothing here. What's going to happen is that he's
bruh.
No, there's nothing. What's going to happen is that he's going to play his contract out. That's what's going to happen, and then they're going to let him go.
Oh my god!
He's going to play that contract out. They're paying him way too much money. He is going to play that contract out. They're going to fire the coaching staff. Okay, coaching staff's going to get fired at the end of the year. Daniel Jones there'll be a new coach. He'll play. Maybe they'll trade him at some point or something like that.
Trade for that contract?
Nobody's trading. I'm just saying, but like. Okay. Nobody's going to trade for that, but like he's got to. It's guaranteed. Like he's got to play that contract out, and he just signed it last year. Like, it's the
bruh, if I am the owner of the Giants, I'm calling Daniel Jones in the morning. Be like, hey, bruh, I want to go get some coffee. Come with me to Starbucks real quick. As soon as he sit down, I'm gonna slide him this piece of paper. You know, when he open it, you know what it's gonna say? You know what it's gonna say when he open that piece of paper?
What's it gonna say?
Your flight leaves at 2. You better be on it. That's what it's gonna say. you this team no more. You are gone. Like, goodbye. There's no point. There's no point in just keep holding this Band-Aid on this wound. Rip the Band-Aid off.
Okay.
And start the healing process.
So there's some weird verbiage in his, not weird, but technically speaking, after this year, he's only got, next year, he's only got one more year of guaranteed money left on that 4-year, 160 mil. They can cut ties with him after next year.
I'm not waiting that long.
But it's got to be, he's got to play out this year. And I think what's going to happen is that he'll play out this year. This is what's going to happen. I'm telling you. Play out this year. Coaches are going to get fired. They're going to bring somebody else in. They're going to talk all highly about him. Oh, well, they didn't do this and this and this, just like Sean Payton did to Russell Wilson. And then after that season goes poorly next year, they can let him go and not actually have to eat the money and essentially just draft somebody. They can just, after this year, they're going to pick high. They're going to draft someone. They're going to have one more year. We're going to see what's going to happen, but they're going to let, and then, like I said, they're probably going to just release him or whatever the case is, or try to get anything for him trade after that. But he only has one more year of guaranteed money left. So this year,
I'm going to put you like this. Don't ever compare Russell Wilson to this garbage. This garbage.
I didn't compare. I just said that they're going to do the same scenario.
Russell Wilson's situation was, it was a coach that had a personal vendetta against him. Russell Wilson was in top 10 of the passing of quarterbacks last year.
Russell Wilson was not good last year.
He should have never lost that job. But we're not going to get into that. That's a whole nother.
If you watched it, he wasn't good.
I watched that team. I watched him whip that team back into playoff contention. Because they was out of it in the beginning of the season. He whipped that team back into playoff contention last year. It wasn't Sean Payton
Russell
and his
Wilson
stupid ass coaching. It was Russell Wilson that got that team back into playoff contention. It was playing good for a minute. Everybody was on their bandwagon. Oh, here come the Broncos. They beat the Chiefs. Here come the Broncos. And all of a sudden, when they had one bad game, now it's Russell Wilson's fault.
Listen.
I'm not getting into that.
Russell
Wilson, Daniel Jones got to go. That's it. If you get bent over and clap your cheeks by Sam Darnold with no Vaseline, somebody got to go. It's just simple. You got to go.
Russell Wilson is that girl that you might bring around the homies, but you ain't bringing her home to mom and dad, bro.
Whatever, bro. I ain't worried about it. Russ gonna play.
Am I facts though? Right?
You're lying, man.
Am I lying? You ain't bringing Russell Wilson. You're gonna spend an eternity with Russell Wilson. You're gonna marry Russell Wilson.
Bro.
You ain't marrying Russell Wilson. Stop the cap.
I don't know why y'all over here capping on Russell Wilson like he played terrible. He did not play bad last year at all.
I might take Sierra
physically at all.
I might take Sierra at quarterback over Russell. Sierra taller than Russell at quarterback, bro. I might take Sierra at quarterback, bro.
Just hate. I don't know why y'all just hate on Russell Wilson like that. That's crazy. But Daniel Jones has to go, bro.
Okay.
You pack his shit. You call 2 men in a truck. Call Mayflower, whatever. Call him and you pack up his house for him. He got to go.
Well, I mean,
it's that simple.
You know who else might need to go? Will Levis from the Tennessee Titans. That mayonnaise eating. He needs to lay off the mayonnaise and start hitting the playbook. 19 for 32, 127 yards, 1 touchdown. He's doing his best Danny Dimes impersonation. He's averaging less yards per throw than Danny Dimes. Let's go. Tennessee Titans were up 17-0, I think. Ended up losing this game 17-24.
Yes, they were.
Caleb Williams did nothing, and people are like, oh, Caleb Williams, the glaziness. Bro, what is this? Like, people, I saw Skip Bayless. I saw all these people talking about, oh, well, he's going to be great. He was 14 for 29, 93 yards, 3 yards per throw, 2 sacks. He had a quarterback rating of 22 with the rate. He was terrible. He was terrible today. He was not good. He was not good at all. People, this is what happens when you're a first-round draft pick. I swear. Let me tell you this right now. if Caleb Williams, let's just say Caleb Williams was on the 49ers and had the season that Brock, let's just say they did the exact same thing, like literally the exact same thing. Everybody would be saying Caleb Williams is the greatest quarterback in the history of quarterbacks because he was drafted number 1. But since it's Brock Purdy, it's his receivers, it's this, because people were praising Caleb Williams for this stinker of a game, praising him. I can't anymore, man. I'm not saying that he's not going to be good, but the bias is in when it comes to first round draft picks. Well, when it comes to people, like they get so much more leeway. But anyway, rushing, Tony Pollard, that's the acquisition from the Cowboys. He looked okay. 16 carries for 82 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre Swift, I think he came from the Eagles. He didn't do anything. No, but they couldn't run the ball. The Chicago Bears couldn't run the ball. Will Levis had he had 36 yards, not bad. 15-yard rush. So, but yeah, this was a bad game. It was. I mean, the Bears had I think they had like a good punt return touchdown. I think they had like a pick 6 or something like that.
Yeah, they blocked the punt. That's how they got back in the game. They blocked the punt, scored a touchdown. Then they had a pick 6. They was right back in the game, and the Titans just crumbled. Levis he doesn't look like an NFL quarterback.
He looks like a backup.
He
looks like a backup.
This man has Tony Pollard in the backfield, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins as your receivers. Bruh, you got to do better than that.
He's got some weapons. That's true. He's got some weapons. Yeah, he's got some weapons. I mean, between Ridley, Tyler Boyd, Hopkins had 1 target. So that's
and Tyler Boyd. I forgot Tyler Boyd. You got Tyler Boyd, Calvin Ridley, and DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins can still play. He just got stuck on a sorry team last year.
Yeah, I mean,
and Tony Pollard's running the ball, which he did great. He had 82 yards, 5 yards to carry, and a touchdown. So the Titans pretty much are going to be held back by their quarterback, which is unfortunate. I don't know how they fix that.
See, this is how Daniel Jones gets paid $40 million. This is exactly how somebody like Daniel Jones gets paid, because most of these teams, there's only really about 10 to 15 good quarterbacks. There really is. Everybody else is just kind of like, like they got a strong arm, they're smart in the classroom, they can throw a good ball here, but are they even really a threat to win a Super Bowl? No. Most of these guys just aren't. Like in today's NFL, just aren't. It's just most of these guys aren't aren't real starters. There's just a lack of.
I feel you on that. Like like a lot of quarterbacks, like Lamar Jackson, are just not built to win the Super Bowl. So I get what you're saying with that. I get what you're saying. You know what I mean? So
they would love if Will Levis turned into Lamar. If they could trade Will Levis for Lamar Jackson, like all the owners would bend over it like that. They would do it in a heartbeat.
I mean, I wouldn't blame them if I seen Will Levis today. It's like it was the Bears. I mean, the Bears defense is pretty decent. They hot and cold. They got some talent on that defensive side, but. I mean, you was up 17-0, bro, and you lost that game 24-17, which means you didn't do nothing after those 17 points. That's the worst type of loss to me. Yeah. When you get a big lead like that, and then the score you put up in your lead is the score you got when the clock hits 0 when the game is over. That's pretty embarrassing, man, especially when you got Tony Pollard, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Boyd, and Calvin Ridley in your offense. That don't make any sense. And it's inexcusable.
It was a really choppy, weird game. But the funniest before we move on to the next topic, the funniest thing is that Will Levis throws a pick, right? The pick 6. And he's like, no, and he's on his knees instead of getting up and
this man hit.
He's on his knees like, no.
This man hit the whole. This man hit the whole anime story arc in the middle of the damn field, got on his knees.
bro, what are you doing? Get your ass up and go chase the ball down. I mean, that dude was long gone, but at least give some effort. I see Peyton Manning give more effort to stop a damn interception than you, and Peyton Manning could barely fucking move. Like what are you doing? You thought the screen was gonna make him trip? Like, what are you doing, my guy? Like, what are you doing? Why are you just like what? What are you trying to power up? Like, what are you doing?
This man was praying for the Thunder God.
What? Like, what are you?
He was praying for the harvest. Like
this man was sitting there like he was powering up, like he was Trunks out of the Super Saiyan saga. Like, what are you doing? What you screaming no for? You did it. You did it. It's like, what are you screaming no for? You the one who did it.
That's how you know he's not an NFL court right there, bro. I'm sorry. I'm firing him after that. Oh my gosh. This man said no. You just see his hand. He's on his knees and his hand is up like this, and the play goes by. He doesn't get up. That's the last frame. It's not even like he got up later, bro. He might still be there. Legend has it. He's still there saying no, like with this. Oh my goodness, bro.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing worse. This is why I couldn't be an NFL coach. There's nothing worse than seeing my quarterback make a mistake and put no effort into stopping the mistake.
Yeah.
That would piss me off to no end. Like,
I don't know what he's doing, but whatever, man. I think he was probably thinking about mayonnaise at that point. You know, this guy puts mayonnaise in his coffee. Like, what a weirdo. I ain't drafting nobody that puts mayonnaise in their coffee. That's anti-black. And there's a lot of black people that are on that team. So I can't do that.
Well, I will say this, Caleb Williams, he looked a hot mess today, but he's a rookie quarterback. He should get better with time. I think the win today will give him a little bit of confidence. I mean, obviously they gotta let the leash loose a little bit on him, but you know, I mean, them stats ain't gonna make me. If I'm a coach, them stats ain't gonna make me want to release the leash on him. They're 14 for 29.
Listen, he's a rookie, so he's gonna play like a rookie. But people were anointed him. I mean, Nick Wright from First Things First had him above other NFL quarterback starters, had him above Brock Purdy and other guys that have been doing it. So I mean, hey, it is what it is. Right?
I get why they did that. I get why he did that. You got Keenan Allen, you got DJ Moore, and then you also got Swift in the backfield. You got a lot of weapons around you to make some stuff happen. So it's like, but the thing is, he's still a rookie. Like, people gotta.
I mean, Brock Purdy played better as a rookie, but I mean,
oh Lord,
in his first game, I'm just saying, in the first game, Brock Purdy definitely played better as a rookie. But I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. All right, so we're gonna kind of go through a little bit rapid fire through some of these other ones because, listen, maybe we can spend a little bit of time on this, not too much. Bryce Young. What has been the common theme? That the quarterback play has been terrible. Listen, Bryce Young. I mean, this is going to set short quarterbacks back 20 years. Like, if I'm an NFL owner, I'm never drafting I would never ever in my life, unless that quarterback has stats that unless he runs a 4.2 40 and he can throw 90 yards down the field, never take a short quarterback because he's really, really like, and I get that the team's bad. The team's not good, but if the team's not good, don't compound your mistake by drafting a little bite-size quarterback. And I said this, you can even go back. People on Twitter, they know. I saw him in a picture, Baron, next to Mina Kimes, and I said, don't draft him. I said, don't draft him. Because Mina Kimes legitimately looked almost as big as him. She's a small Asian lady. Okay, nothing against her. She's a great reporter, great, personality on TV, ESPN and all that. But you shouldn't barely look better than a skinny, short Asian lady next to a picture. Like that's not what a quarterback should look like. And I said, I saw that picture. I'm like, and then she tried to defend him. She was like, "Oh, I'm almost 5'10", or what did she say? She says, "I'm like, oh, I'm like 5'7". Like, man, you ain't no with heels. You ain't no 5'7".
Well, I'm gonna talk about Bryce Young real quick because I really want to talk a couple of points about them Saints.
he got drafted into a bad situation. I'm not.
He's 5'2".
I don't care about the size of the quarterback. You know,
I do.
That's already been proven wrong.
It's
Kyler
not.
Murray's proven that wrong. Drew
How many
Brees
Super
definitely
Bowls?
proved that wrong. It's like it's not.
Drew
nothing
Brees
to really talk about.
one Super Bowl win.
Drew Brees should have won more than one Super Bowl. Let's not forget
Drew
about how
Brees
they got
is 6
screwed in the playoff game.
Drew Brees is 6 foot. Drew Brees is like 6 foot, almost 6'1". Drew Brees, he just looks smaller compared to all the other bigger quarterbacks, but he's actually over 6 foot.
The height of the quarterback that doesn't matter to me. But the thing is, Bryce Young is.
Would you draft a quarterback 5'4"?
He's on a terrible team.
Would you play a quarterback 5'4"?
If somebody can make elite throws, I'm drafting him. I don't care what they height.
5'4"?
Bryce Young has some talent. Bryce Young has no talent around him. He has no offensive line.
He's too small.
He has no help.
He's too small.
He's not going to get any better this year.
He's too small.
They got receivers, but they don't really have no running game, so that's not going to help him.
He missed open guys because he can't see. He's 5'10". He can't see.
Listen, it's going to be hard for him when you don't have an elite offensive line. To me, he's probably going to end up not being the Panthers quarterback of the future. He's going to end up somewhere else, and he's going to thrive. That's pretty much what's probably going to happen. Because I don't
5'10" quarterback.
I don't
thrives. We've had like two,
bro,
in like league history.
I understand that, but you got to give it time. We're gonna act like Kyler Murray wasn't an MVP candidate before he got hurt.
Kyler Murray runs like legit. Like if Kyler Murray runs like a 4.4, he's fast. Like Kyler Murray's like a running back.
But he can throw the ball like he's an elite. He has great elite throwing talent in his arm. Despite him,
but he's only 5'10". You can't have that. Listen, at Alabama, he has those big old huge hogs. And Jakin, he's actually a Panthers fan, and he said that they spent $100 million in the offseason on guards. So they tried to get him some protection. The problem
where was it at today? Because I damn sure ain't seen it.
But the problem. Listen. I said this last year. I'm gonna go with it again. CJ Stroud was the pick. I said I saw the film. You see a big, strong dual. CJ Stroud was also an elite basketball player in high school too. He could have played basketball, but he chose football instead. CJ Stroud was the pick. That was the pick. CJ Stroud at Ohio State. To me, it was clear that CJ Stroud was the better quarterback, even in college, because in college you can't look
Stroud
at that Alabama
quarterback.
CJ Stroud was the pick. Bryce Young didn't outplay. Bryce Young didn't outplay CJ Stroud so bad to the point to where you say his upside is so much better than CJ Stroud at 6'3". CJ Stroud is 6'3", right? What did Bryce Young show that says that he was to overcome that height gap? If they were almost the same height, then I'd say okay. But CJ Stroud is 6'3". Yes, he won the Heisman. I get that, but he's also at Alabama with the best everything.
Well, this is all I have to say about that. Bryce is not CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud is he's going to be a generational talent, but I don't think Bryce is trash. I just think he's on a trash ass team with a trash coach.
He is. Weren't the Houston Texans were trash too? And what happened?
They wasn't a trash team. They were an underperforming team. They was an underperforming team because they had talent on there. Because when CJ Stroud came there, you seen the talent actually thrive that was there.
Well, there was rookies. I mean, they had Tank Dell. They didn't have Stephon.
You know what I mean? And their running backs were there. They were already there a couple of seasons.
Who was the running back last year? I forgot. They replaced him with Mixon.
They was like no-name guys, but they was effective though.
Yeah, because CJ Stroud's like not Jordan. Sorry, CJ Stroud's like LeBron. He makes all the guys around him.
But the thing is, he came to that team and they clicked the first day he was there. That's how good CJ Stroud is.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think Bryce is CJ Stroud at all, but I don't think he's garbage.
I told Jake
in the wrong situation, bro.
Jake, what did I say last year? Jake, and I called this. I said, take CJ Stroud. I'm like, they're making a big mistake. I said they're making a very big. CJ Stroud made all the guys around him better. And yes, he had some good players when he played at Ohio State. Yes, he did. But you can tell the throws, the placement. You never take a bite-sized quarterback over the bigger quarterback that shows the arm talent. It's just there's too much history.
Bruh,
there's too much
history. There's too much history of big, tall mofos that can throw the damn ball and they turn out to be trash.
Yeah, and there's more history.
Russell.
The greatest.
We have to go down the whole list of people who had this tall
Who are the greatest
stature,
quarterbacks of all time?
And it's like, come on.
Who are the greatest quarterbacks of all time? Go ahead. Name the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Oh my God.
Go ahead. Name them.
You know I hate Tom Brady.
Okay. Name.
So I'll put
move on from Tom Brady.
Kurt Warner is very underrated. He's one of the greats to me.
6'3", 6'2".
You know what I mean? He was not that tall. He was
6'3", 6'2". He's
I don't
tall.
think he was 6'3". What? He was not.
He's like 6'2".
I think he was 6'1". I don't think
he's about 6'2". Kurt Warner 6'2".
Of course, Drew Brees, the Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? It's all about arm talent. Like it's like we have seen tall people not pan out to be great quarterbacks.
That's my point. That's my
that had enormous throwing power.
He's
it's like I don't think the height has nothing to do with it.
No, it does. My point is this. My point, if you look at the best quarterbacks of all time, you don't want to know.
How tall was Ryan Leaf?
Ryan Leaf is trash.
Yes, he was trash. Yeah. How tall was he?
Okay, no, what I'm telling you is that
Jamarcus Russell was like 6'9", wasn't he? Listen, he was trash.
When you draft the quarterback number one, what are you looking for? You're looking to win a Super Bowl, right? You're looking for that quarterback to turn your franchise around and win a Super Bowl. Okay, and if you look at all the quarterbacks historically that have won Super Bowls, they're all taller, strong-armed quarterbacks. Like almost every single one. You've got Russell Wilson, who the Legion of Boom, was the Legion of Boom. He wasn't even MVP of that Super Bowl. They did good, but he wasn't.
Well, Russell Wilson is on the shorter side.
He is. I'm saying this. I'm telling you that. Like, hey, look, in the short list, right? Of like, let's just say Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. You got Drew Brees, who's over 6 foot though, so I'm not counting him. But yes, we're just going to count him. And you got Russell Wilson. Outside of that, who else? That is one.
You're trying to make me remember everybody's height.
You can't remember because everybody who's won. Look at Patrick Maholmes. He's the best. He's like 6'3". Look at Josh Allen. He's one of the best. He's like 6'5". Look at Joe Burrow. You say he's the elite. He's 6'4". Look at all of the top quarterbacks that even Jalen Hurts. He's like 6'2". Look at Trevor Lawrence, who's getting paid. He's 6'5" or 6 foot. Look at Tua is on the shorter side, but he's over 6. You've listen.
Taylor looks so small out on that field.
Taylor,
Kurt Warner, he is 6'2". I knew he wasn't no damn 6'3". Like you
I said he's 6'2", 6'3". Come on, I said 6'2".
Tua is like 6 foot even, ain't he? Like he's a quarterback, and he
but Tua's a bit tall. He's a bit taller than that. He's not 5'10". He's not 5'10". And I'll say this: if you look at, like I said, Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, the best quarterbacks of all. Look at Peyton Manning. You said Eli, whatever. You want to count Eli? Mm-hmm. Eli's 6'4", Peyton's 6'5", Tom Brady's 6'4". Like the list goes on and on. Like this is not a good argument to get into because it's the truth.
But the thing is,
Joe Montana
argument is a moot.
Joe Montana, Brett Favre, Steve Young. Can we keep going? Jim Kelly. Every single one, like Troy Aikman, they're all not bite-sized 5'10" quarterbacks. Come on now.
I don't think the height has to do. You listen to people who had great arm talent. That's what mattered the most.
Then name me all these Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. You think somebody 5'10" doesn't have arm talent? I've seen all sorts of quarterbacks that are short, that are in college or whatever, and they don't end up being anything in the NFL.
You know what I mean? We could go through a plethora list of quarterbacks that didn't turn out to be anything, and all of them are going to be on the taller side.
And I'm telling you right now, you rather go down in flames with somebody, at least take away like as many issues as possible, right? Like it's already hard enough being a quarterback. You don't want height to be one of the issues that you're going to have. Like you've already got to deal with a bad team, this and that. Now you're throwing height in there. The thing is, I've played quarterback before. That's the thing. I've played it, and it's a terrible position. It is a terrible, it's a terrible, horrible position to play. And I have played where I'm not tall. I'm 5'9", and I can't see over my linemen. Okay. I've had trouble being able to see over, and they're not 6'5" and as big as these guys are. Okay. And I've had trouble looking to see down the field. It's a problem. That's why they got to roll him out. They got to get him out of the pocket. It's a problem. And if you're picking number one, you don't pick somebody. I mean, listen, you don't pick somebody that small at number one. You just don't. Like you take your chances with the big guy. If he sucks, then he sucks. If Bryce Young ends up becoming a great, then it's like, all right, well, you know what, we missed. But you don't add another problem. And I hate to do this to Bryce Young because I think he's probably a good guy, and I don't think he's bad. And I think that he still is a quarterback in this league. I just don't think I would take him at number one. At 5'10", no way, 180 pounds.
I mean, I guess that's the way you look at it.
the first thing I'm looking at ain't height. It's looking at can you throw the ball?
Okay.
Can you be accurate and can you throw the ball? And can you throw the ball downfield?
Your favorite team? Who's your favorite?
I don't want no Chad Penningtons out here.
Who's your favorite team?
Like,
you know what I mean? But your favorite team is the Atlanta Falcons, right? So if they're drafting number 1, would you choose if you got all these quarterbacks and they're all good and they're all the same height? Or no, sorry. And one of them's 5'10", and the other ones are 6'3", 6'4", whatever, and they all play good. And they all play. They all have the same grade on your draft board. Who are you taking?
You said how many?
4. You have 4 good quarterbacks in college. They all have they're all equal to you in terms of arm talent. You feel like, hey, I feel good about all these guys, but one of them is 5'10", and the others are 6 foot something, 6 foot up and up. Okay. Who are you taking? You taking the 5'10"?
I'm taking the second shortest guy because typically, okay. not the shortest guy, but the second shortest guy. Because typically the real tall ones don't really have that great scrambling ability. But I want somebody that can at least, scramble a little bit. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I'm taking the second shortest guy because I know he'll probably be able to have more.
Josh Allen can scramble and he's 6'5". But
yeah, I know. But Josh Allen is just a freak of nature. Like that doesn't happen often.
So, I see what you're saying for sure. Yeah. Listen. The Panthers have an issue. They have an issue. They lost 10. They lost 47-10. So,
I do want to say this though because we talked about Bryce Young too long.
Yeah,
but
we did.
Derek Carr is back, and I think a lot of people was really counting him out, and I was like, "Nah, give him time to cook in New Orleans. Get used to his team over there."
Listen,
Derek Carr is back, and people need to be scared of that team now because they putting up points like nothing now.
His family.
I watched that game. I watched the whole first half of that game, and they're in sync. Derek Carr is throwing people open. He's telling people he's hot routing people in the middle of plays. Oh yeah, that Derek Carr, that
I don't want to say anything bad about Derek Carr because once again, this is personal with Derek Carr. Okay, this is personal with Derek Carr. Actually, I think he's really cool. His family's great. I've met his family. I went to the same school as his brother, so his brother still has a banner hanging up. They're from my area. They have billboards here. They come here. You see them all the time here. All right, so I have a bias for Derek Carr. I do. So I'll move on from that. All right. And we went to the same college. We both went to Fresno State. So
anyway, the Saints put up 47 points. I think that's the most points any team put up this first week. So yeah, those Saints are back, bro. Yeah, they're back. That defense is still intact too. Them Saints are back.
Derek Carr is awesome though. Derek Carr, he played. I'm hoping he can keep that up the whole year. We'll see. We will see with that. But they're playing a really bad team. This team sucks though. Like this is like
that's what you want. You want to see great teams throttle trash teams.
That's true. That's true. You do want to see that. But all right. So like I said, we're gonna kind of just fire through some more of these here. We had sorry, man. I got Pittsburgh versus Atlanta.
Yeah, we gotta talk about that.
Go ahead, Baird. I'll let you go. Go ahead, Baird. I'll let you
go. We had Pittsburgh versus Atlanta, a game that I had on my TV along. Just to give the chat a little preview of my setup, I usually use 2 to 3 screens. I'll have 2 games I want to watch, and I'll have Red Zone on my laptop going. So it's crazy in my living room. You got 2, broadcast games and Red Zone going, so I don't miss nothing. But this was on one of my screens, and of course it had to be because I wanted to see how Kirk Cousins was going to do after they overpaid for him to come to Atlanta. Yeah. And I was absolutely pleasantly disgusted in what I saw. to put it so the fact of the matter is, I think people don't understand. The Steelers did not score a touchdown in this game. They had 18 points, and they did not score a single touchdown in this game. I'm going to repeat that for you. The Steelers did not score a single touchdown in this game, and they won against this team, 18-10. Kirk Cousins today looked like a guy who is not healed from his injury. Damn near 90% of the snaps he took, he was in pistol. He didn't roll out and do the bootleg like he usually do, and you seen him in Minnesota. He didn't take no under center snaps. He didn't take no shotgun snaps. This guy obviously is still trying to basically play on a Achilles heel that he doesn't trust or is not fully healed yet. So every time he threw the ball, it was in a pistol formation where he didn't have to do any stepping or moving or anything to aggravate that Achilles heel. And it showed when he threw the ball. If he was going to play like this, they should have just kept Marcus Mariota ass in the team, but it's like basically that's what you got. You know what I mean? That's what you got out of Kirk Cousins today against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Give Pittsburgh Steelers the credit. They got a defense, but Kirk Cousins was 16 for 26, 155 yards, 2 interceptions, and 1 touchdown, which he got lucky that Kyle Pitts got open late on blown coverage. So it was not a good display. And they paid a lot of money for this man, and I'm gonna give him 3 weeks to get it together. Because the first 4 weeks, everybody got to adjust. They got to get back into playing football. You got to adjust, get your team together. But today was not encouraging at all.
Kirk Cousins sucks.
Kirk
Cousins is the most overpaid, swindling. He is the Tobias Harris of the NFL. You know Tobias from the 76ers who's made
God,
a bazillion dollars.
You really gonna get on Tobias like that?
Absolutely mediocre. And Kirk Cousins has been a professional money handler, a professional like the Brinks truck, professional Brinks truck stealer for a decade in this league, for about a decade, right? I think he came in when Robert Griffin came in, like right about that time. So 2012, 2014 or something like that? 2012. And he has been stealing ever since he was taking those 1-year deals with the Washington or the Commanders now, but the Redskins before. And they were paying him. He was getting franchise tagged, making 20-something million. Franchise tagged because they kept on franchise tagging. I think they give him 2 or 3 straight franchise tags. So he was making 20-something million. And then he gets the big first ever in the history of the NFL fully guaranteed contract. 80-something, 3 years, 80-something million. And what do they have to show for it? Nothing. Absolutely. Then signs another contract. Signs another one. Big $100 million plus contract. Nothing. Signs another huge $100 million contract. And now the same thing's gonna happen. Now he's old. Now he's not even young anymore. Now he's old. He doesn't make good decisions when it comes time. He is a professional. This is the greatest swindle since Sam Bradford. The greatest. Sam Bradford made every penny of that $100 million, and Sam Bradford has nothing to show for it. This is the Sam Bradford final form. You know, the final, like Frieza. This is Sam Bradford's final form. Is
listen,
Kirk Cousins, man.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. First of all, you're not gonna disrespect and undervalue Kirk Cousins that much. Trust me, he's not worth $100 million. But the boy was balling the last 2 seasons in Minnesota, and the last season when he got hurt. He was the best quarterback in the first 8 games he played, the first 3 games he played.
And then you know what happens then, right? You get to the playoffs, then what? Like, Dak Prescott is also the best quarterback in the league. And then the playoffs
get to the playoffs. Yeah.
So that's the problem with Kirk Cousins. He has a worse playoff record than Brock Purdy. Like Brock Purdy has won more playoff games than Kirk Cousins. That's not good.
It's not good. It's not good. But some people do get over the hump late in their career. But I'm just hoping for the best.
Like Elway, maybe. But the difference with Elway is that Elway actually went to a Super Bowl when he was young. He just didn't win it. He just ran. I think he ran to the Niners. But yeah, I mean, or Kurt Warner. That was later in his career.
Yeah,
right?
Kurt Warner is the craziest story. For him to resurge like that so many years later on the Cardinals is crazy. That was just insane.
Well, even like the first stint with the Rams, even that was crazy because he wasn't, he was like not great in college or was not seen as like a high draft pick or anything. He just kind of came out of nowhere. And then having a resurgence again, like with the I mean, they almost won a Super Bowl, so almost
they should have won that Super Bowl.
They should have won it, but they did. Yeah. Listen, I've suffered the most out of anybody here in terms of losing Super Bowls. Okay, in the past 12 years, I have suffered 3 Super Bowl defeats. That's like I'm like averaging every 4 years. I'm getting the L.
That's because you got that faith in Kyle Shanahan, and Kyle Shanahan ain't gonna show you Kyle Shanahan goes Kyle Shanahan.
Harbaugh choked. Here's the funny thing. I think it's the Niners. Harbaugh choked too. Harbaugh choked.
I don't know what it is.
He choked. He has Frank Gore at the goal line. He has Frank Gore at the goal. He has Colin Kaepernick and Frank Gore, two most dynamic runners at that time, and they throw the ball 4 straight times and lose. Like, hey, I make it make sense.
He was trying to prove that Colin Kaepernick was something that he wasn't. So that's his fault.
They should have just ran the ball, just line up in power, sweep left, sweep right, sweep left with Colin. That's all they had to do.
But as far as the Steelers go, that defense is elite. Justin Fields is still garbage. He's still garbage, people. I don't know why people are holding on to this so much. He can develop if they just need to let him sit. And somebody just need to let him sit and learn.
You know what he really needs to do?
That's what they need to do.
He needs to change position.
I'm not gonna give up on him. I'm not gonna give up on him that easily,
he won't because he can make way more money as a fringe starter / backup than he can change into wide receiver.
Yeah, Justin Fields, he was 17 for 23, 156. Nothing crazy. Everything was short passes. It was just it was like flat. It was like curl flat. Like, come on, bro. Like, just dinking and dunking down the field. The Falcons defense is definitely elite. But they got to figure out that quarterback. TJ Watt is a monster. I don't know. I guess Watt is great. I guess he just took all his brother's energy and just put it into his body.
That family's got something genetic with that family.
I don't know what's going on in there. That man is unstoppable now. Like, you can't even block this man anymore.
Yeah,
like,
he had a pretty good game. He had 4 tackles, 2 solos, had a sack.
That man was in the backfield almost every play in that Falcons game.
Yeah, 3. He had 3 QB hits. He had by himself. They had 7 total, but he had 3 QB hits. I mean, that pressure is that's how you get paid in today's day. Like, you can, even if you don't have like a bunch of sacks, if you can pressure the quarterback, you're gonna get money. Like, you're gonna get paid because that's what's important, is getting there, disrupting him, making him make bad throws so your defensive backs can get tips and get interceptions. So yeah, Watt was looking good. The whole defense was looking good overall. Like, they all were looking.
The Falcons defense was looking pretty good too. They protected that end zone. So that defense is definitely as advertised, but it's the same.
They were playing against a pretty bad quarterback, but I mean, we'll see what they do against some little bit better competition. But congratulations, you guys' top receiver was Ray McLeod III. So the guy that decided
moving on, man. Let's move on to
the guy that decided to try to pick up the ball, try to pick up the ball on a punt return, and then ended up fumbling it in the Super Bowl for the Niners. Yeah, that's the same guy. You guys can have him. Have fun. Have fun with that guy.
Next game, man.
Yeah. All right. That's not a good sign. Ray McLeod, that's not a good sign, buddy. Dude's like 5'4". Jacksonville, Miami. Tyreek Hill getting detained, getting arrested, detained before the game in the Lambeau.
Okay, what was the reason? Because I didn't read why he got speeding. He must have been late to the game.
Yeah, he might have been late, or he was trying to get there on time. And
I can see why he late. He got like 50 kids. Stop having so much kids. You wouldn't have so many responsibilities for the damn game, Tyreek.
Bro, I don't think he even sees the other kids. I think he forgets about them. He's a nasty weirdo. Let's just be honest here. Have you seen the way that he talks? Did you hear what he said he's going to do post career?
He said he's going to be a porn star, right?
And I agree. I'm thinking, that seems like that what he wants to do. He can't keep it in the pants, man.
Listen, you can't crush that man's dreams, okay? He think he could beat Noah Lyles in the race. Let him race Noah Lyles.
There's something wrong with Tyreek. He's a phenomenal player, and he proved why he's like one of the best in today's day. Like, the defensive backs are scared. They are absolutely terrified of this guy. He's the most terrifying receiver probably ever. Like, the most terrifying receiver in the league history is Tyreek Hill. Like, more than Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice was terrifying, but it was like, okay, well, he's going to outwork you. Maybe you got a chance at getting him in bounds. It's a bit different.
People like Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Fitzgerald, they terrorized you. They were scared of them because they just bodied you and mossed you over the top.
Yeah. Yeah. Jerry Rice just outworked you, then they out-schemed you.
Tyreek scared people for other reasons.
Yeah.
You sneeze, this man going to be 20 yards past you.
He's too fast. Tyreek is too fast. You can't catch him. And he took like a I think it was like a dig route, and he took it to the house 80 yards. He just housed it, and I was just like, what can you do? He outran two people. He's so scary. He destroyed the Niners. He got that big play against the Niners in the Super Bowl, the Garoppolo Super Bowl. And it's just like, man, like you can't. He was voted number one player in the NFL. He was voted number one. So
I mean, it's warranted. I can't argue against that.
I mean, Mahomes is the best player in the NFL, but I can see why the players think that maybe Tyreek Hill is the best player in the NFL. Why, as a player, you're like, yeah, that guy, because he got Tua paid $50 million. That's why. Anybody that can get Tua to make $50 million. Hey,
listen, hold up. Tua was 23 for 37, 338, and a touchdown. Tua was balling. I don't know why you hate on
Tua does not.
Why do you hate on Tua? Tua
I don't hate. I'm just saying Tua does not get paid without Tyreek Hill. There's no chance Tua gets paid. I mean, Waddle's great, and
Waddle's great too.
Waddle's and he's fast.
But there's one receiver. Like,
but what I'm saying is that
had 1,000 yards last season, so he's throwing to everybody.
Almost 2,000 yards.
So it's like
almost 2,000 yards. Like Tyreek's the best. Tyreek's way better than Waddle. Like Waddle is here, and Tyreek is like three steps above
Tyreek
Waddle.
Is better than Waddle, but Waddle ain't he Waddle's probably top 10 now. Like
Waddle's a good receiver. He's a good, but Waddle and Tyreek is why Tua got paid. But Tyreek in particular, because there's times when Tua just throws the ball into the air and Tyreek catches it and then runs for a touchdown.
Well, Tua does that because he's accustomed to them now. He knows what they can do, so he trusts them more. I think Tua is a great quarterback. I don't know why you try to hate on him. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's a great quarterback.
I think Mike McDaniel.
You think Tua is not top 10 quarterback in the league?
No, I don't think Tua is top 10. Here's the reason why I don't think Tua is top 10.
What? How is he not top 10?
He's not.
How is he not top 10? How?
Because like you guys do with Brock Purdy, it's the people around.
Who is it? Oh my God. Oh my God.
What, right? Wait a minute. No, that's what you say about Brock Purdy. No, that's what you say about Brock Purdy.
I'm gonna jump through the chat and slap the hell out of you. Don't you dare.
That's what you say about Brock Purdy.
Don't you dare do that, bro. Don't you dare do that, man.
You just hyped up Waddle.
Stop it, bro.
We all hyped up Tyreek, and now you're giving Tua all the credit when he has Waddle and Tyreek on his team.
I'm saying Tua throws to a plethora of receivers, even though Tyreek and Waddle does get the ball a lot. How many receivers did Tua throw to today?
I mean, he was throwing to Tyreek,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different.
These are running backs. He's throwing them most. That's a running back. Devon Achane.
It ain't my problem. They put running backs in the scheme. That's the scheme of the offensive coordinator.
He's throwing to a bunch of running backs, and they're they're getting yak yardage.
You ain't no Tua because he's better than Brock Purdy. That's what it is.
Look at this. Tyreek Hill, 7 receptions for 130 yards. Oh, yeah, that's great.
That's the yak. That's the yards at the catch. That's
Jalen Waddle, 5 receptions, 109 yards. Oh, my gosh, Tua. Yo, these he's dropping dimes. Look at this.
Tua was dropping dimes, bro.
Tyreek Hill outruns 2 people. The dude has an angle on Tyreek Hill, and he outruns the angle. How do you outrun he outruns the angle? Literally, the guy has an angle on him, and he's just like, Tyreek's just like, yeah, I'm good. It's just that, listen, Tyreek Hill, scheme, I'll say this with Tua. Tua's a very good quarterback.
He's a great quarterback.
Okay, fine. He's a great quarterback.
He's going to after last year, that was enough for me. He's a great quarterback. Okay. I don't think you could just plug anybody into that offense and they get the same production Tua gives.
Okay.
I don't think that happens.
Okay, that's fair.
I just don't believe it. But that defense is fired too. That defense showed up the second half of this game. I'm very disappointed in Jacksonville. Jacksonville has way too much talent to still be stalling on offense.
Trevor Lawrence is not that great.
Jesus.
He's not. I think enough is enough. He's paid like he's the top, but he's not. And the funniest thing is like, oh, I took a pay. I took less. You didn't take less. Sit down. Like, well, like what? You did not take less, dude. You're literally like a top 3 paid quarterback or top 5 paid quarterback. You did not take less.
I'm gonna say this. I believe Trevor Lawrence can be a top 10 quarterback. He has the talent to be a top 10 quarterback. I don't know what's the first half of this game. He looked like he was a top 10 quarterback. They got to the second half, and it's like it's the same thing over again.
The problem. That's
go
the
back
biggest,
into a cage. Like
that's the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem with Trevor Lawrence. It's never consistent. He can show flashes, but the only reason why he shows flashes once again because he's tall. He can see over the line. But outside. No, I'm just messing around. I'm just messing around. But I mean, no, he's got a strong arm, and he shows flashes that he could be great. But he's got receivers. He's got Gabe Davis. That's the guy from Buffalo.
He got Christian Kirk, and
he's got Etienne. He got Travis Etienne. Yeah. He's got weapons. They've got a defense. I mean, this is on Lawrence now, man. Like it's time to put up or shut up. You got.
He also got Ingram at tight end too. So they have. That defense on Jacksonville is really damn good, bro.
Yeah, it's time for him to like actually be in real contention to win a Super Bowl. Otherwise, we're looking at bust territory here. We're looking at kind of because remember he's a number 1 draft pick. So
I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know if Doug Peterson is not the right coach for him or not. But it's just I've never seen somebody so hot and then just go cold.
It's
think in the same game, and it's not like it's week to week where he's cold. This week he's cold.
They need to get Dabo Sweeney. They need to get Dabo
cold every week in each game. It's like, what is going on? Why y'all can't be consistent? What is going on? Is the play calling? Is the scheme? If y'all running shit he don't like,
it's a combination of Lawrence maybe not being the guy and also scheme. You can be better with a guy that's like not the guy if you have like perfect scheme, but the scheme is a problem. And it's just Trevor Lawrence is not what we thought that he could be. He's not playing up. People thought he might be Peyton Manning. He's not.
No, I think Peyton Manning is a little bit too high.
People thought he might
just go look at
I think he might be Peyton Manning.
I think he can be what Andrew Luck was, at Andrew Luck peak.
Okay.
I think he can be that.
Okay. Yeah.
But the thing is like. Yeah. But the thing is, like, we need consistency here. Like, Trevor, what is going on? There's obviously something going on coaching wise because you can't be this good starting a game and then go completely cold. And it's happening every time. It's like happening all the time.
So that's definitely a mix of it's like coaching and then probably like nerves. I'm not sure if it's nerves or if it's there's something with Lawrence. I think he needs to work on a few different things, but then there's also schematic. I agree. Coaching, there needs to be a potential coaching change. I think that if they don't get the job done this year, I think Peterson will be fired because you're not going to fire Lawrence.
Especially after that collapse last year when they were supposed to win that division.
Yeah. So I think Peterson's out. If they don't make the playoffs and have like win a game or two, I think he's done. I think even if they make the playoffs and they lose or they're one and done, he's out. So they're paying Trevor Lawrence too much money for them to be just doing nothing. And they've got receivers. They got running backs. There's no excuse. So let's see what happens going forward. Next up, we've got the Houston Texans and Indianapolis Colts. That was a good game. I watched that full game. And it was a nice back and forth between the two. Good duel.
Really?
So yeah, it was good. It was a good back and forth.
You think it was like good back and forth?
Yeah, you didn't see the game?
I watched that. I'm a CJ Stroud fan, so I watched that.
It was a good back. They went.
You know what I noticed? Out of this game? This game was very similar to that Kansas City Ravens game. Very similar. Very similar things happened in this game that happened in that Kansas City Ravens
Richardson game. Can't hit anybody wide open.
The man can't hit nobody.
He missed some throws.
So this man missed wide open, breaking in the end zone, streaking down the field. How you overthrow a man that has nobody around him 50 yards?
That's true, but I mean, I'll say this:
around this dude, and he missed him.
He has
the man was a dot on a piece of paper by himself on the
He has a
field,
crazy stat
he
line
missed.
though, because he actually has one of the best ratings for this game because he had 9 completions and had 212 yards on 9 completions. So he did hit some big plays. He averaged 11 yards per throw.
This man was 9 for 19, bro. 212.
That's a lot.
Touchdowns, and I think he ran one in as well.
Yeah,
didn't
he ran one
He
in. So
ran
he had a
another
good
touchdown in.
He had a good game. He had 200.
And he had 9 yards at rush. This man is basically, he's basically a Super Saiyan version of Lamar Jackson. That's what he is. That's what he is. Because I think he can read the defense better than Lamar. But he's probably worse accuracy than Lamar is. And
he's
Lamar
worse
ain't
accuracy
accurate at all.
But I don't know if he can read
terrible
defenses
accuracy.
better. I don't know if he can read defensive better. I think basically he had a lot of guys just running open and he just missed them. You know,
he has terrible accuracy. It's like, bruh, are you really missed this throw? Like,
he wasn't accurate at Florida. He got drafted because of his physical traits. He's tall, he's big.
Yeah, that dude's a monster. He runs like Josh Allen, but I think he runs tougher than Josh Allen.
He definitely runs tougher. That goal line play where he ran that guy over to get to the touchdown was just crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
And the defensive back looked scared. The defensive back was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, that dude. First of all, he's huge.
Yeah,
this dude's big as a damn ox. Like you know how your grandpa used to say, "You big as an ox." That dude, he's a damn unit.
Yeah, he's like his thighs look like big like tree trunks. Like the dude is big. His shoulders, like he's a big dude. But I mean, like, yeah, the problem is like the passing.
I'm going to give him time because basically he didn't get to play his rookie season. Basically. So.
But he's not going to be playing when he's running like that. That's a quick way to have your career be short when you run like the way that
he only has 6 rushes though.
Yeah,
I'm cool with the quarterback only having 6 rushes, but we got the accuracy. We got to fix that. That was just embarrassing. Like you really could have won this game at home, but you were so inaccurate on multiple throws.
CJ Stroud played great. Joe Mixon played out of his mind. 30 carries for $159, touchdown, 5.3 per carry. Almost broke one down the sideline at one point. He looked great. Joe Mixon, it feels like Joe Mixon's always in his 20s. I don't know when Joe Mixon's been. Is Joe Mixon ever going to get old? It seems like he's been in his 20s. I remember when he knocked that lady out at Oklahoma or something.
Oh my God. Why did you bring that back?
And it seemed like it was like 10 years ago.
You the ops, bro. Why you bring that back?
I'm just saying he did. That felt like so long ago, and I don't condone that. I mean, I don't condone what the lady did, but still, I don't condone knocking somebody out like that. But it seemed like that was so long ago. And sorry, I know he doesn't like when people bring that up, but I'm just saying, like, Joe. I'm clicking on his. Okay, he's 28. I don't know how he's still in his 20s, bro.
He's still in his 20s. I thought he was like 35 or something.
He's only 28, and he just turned 28. His birthday's in July, so it's not like he's like 28 turning 29. He just turned 28. That's crazy because he's been in the league since 2017. Usually, if you're in the 2017, those guys are like, well, it depends on when you come into the league, right? But I mean, he's been in the league for that. This is his 8th year. Yeah, this is his 9th year. At 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, this is his 8th year. 8th year in the league.
Yeah, this Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is a beast. CJ Stroud is a beast. I think the AFC has a problem on their hands. My pick for the AFC Championship game was the Texans and the Chiefs.
Okay.
For the beginning of the season, and they're looking like that's what it's going to be. Because if you got Joe Mixon running the ball like this and CJ Stroud just doing what he's been doing, it's going to be hard to beat these guys.
Yeah,
it's going to be hard to beat this team because the defense ain't no pushovers either. They're pretty solid. So it's like then you got Tank Dell, Nico Collins. Now you got Stephon Diggs. Diggs. Schultz is still at tight end. It's like what? How do you?
They've got a squad. This feels almost like
man.
Ultimate, like Madden Ultimate Team or something like that with all these guys. Like you got Mixon, you got Stephon, you got Nico, you got Tank. You could just spread it around to so many different guys, and everyone's just really all. And CJ Stroud just doesn't make mistakes like this. Like
He doesn't.
He's so smart with the ball. He's so smooth.
He's so smart. He's so accurate.
Yeah.
His ball is so beautiful when he throws that pigskin.
He reminds me of, Alvin Kamara, right?
Yeah.
He's like the quarterback version of Al. He's just smooth. You don't think he's really trying too hard. And he's just smooth.
He's like
nonchalant. He's just like back there. Okay, yeah, pressure's coming, whatever. All right. And people don't want to hit him. He's light skinned. People don't want to hit him that hard.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't say they wanted him because he was light skinned.
I don't want to hit him too hard. He's a nice guy.
No cap. CJ Stroud do give off that light skin energy.
Yeah, he got that light skin buff. Like, hey, he's pretty. We can't hit him like that. Don't want to mess his face up.
And CJ Stroud, he gets sacked like he light skinned. You're like,
he definitely got that light skin buff.
You sacks me. Okay, I got you next play. Watch this touchdown.
CJ Stroud, he ain't never gonna get hurt, bro. They're gonna take care of him. They'll change the rules if CJ Stroud ever get hurt. Change the rules. We're gonna pull the same thing as Brady. Goodell's gonna be like, all right, I'll make an exception for you. You're on the darker side, but we'll make an exception for you at this one here.
But yeah, I'm gonna say this right now: the race for MVP is going to start with CJ Stroud, and it's probably going to be Patrick Mahomes again. But
CJ Stroud and Patrick Mahomes, I think that whoever has the best record will get between those two. Whoever has the best record will win the MVP. Like in the AFC. Like I think that those two are going to be dueling for MVP.
I think they both. I think that's the AFC Championship game. I think that's what it is. I don't see anybody else in the AFC. I don't know if my boy. I guess we can talk about that next. My boy out there in the Chargers didn't look, elite today, but he looked all right.
Yeah, we'll see about that. The Chargers, they won their game, but they're playing against Gardner Minshew. I think that's once again Gardner Minshew. He had an okay game. He was 25 for 33, 257, had a touchdown and a pick. He's a backup QB. Justin Herbert actually had a worse game. 17 for 26, 144 yards. But the problem was the defense was shutting down the Raiders' offense. The Raiders had no running game whatsoever, and the Chargers had a running game. Dobbins, the former Raven, 10 carries, 135 yards, ripped off a 61-yard run. Gus Edwards, I think that's also another former Raven, if I'm not correct.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think it's two former Ravens. He had 11 carries. He only had 26 yards, but still, he had a long of 10. So
I think the problem that's going to be with Justin Herbert is that when they let Austin Eckler go, Eckler was a phenomenal receiving back, and he got Justin Herbert out of a lot of situations. J.K. Dobbins, he's not used to catching balls. He used to running balls, but he's not used to catching balls. So that's obviously a scheme that they had to switch up, and obviously you got Harbaugh there, so it might not be as pass happy as Herbert is used to. So Herbert might actually, he might actually take a step back this year. I don't think that's good for him. I think he should have kept the same pace that he was throwing the ball the last few years, because he's kind of like breaking into that upper echelons of great quarterbacks into the elite area. But today he didn't. He was okay. He didn't look like the Herbert I knew. But yeah, J.K. Dobbins. How many times they ran the ball?
They ran the ball
like 30 times almost.
27 times. So they ran it. So that was a good game. Shout outs to Herbert. Shout outs to Harbaugh back in the NFL, man, the old 49ers coach. So I'm rooting for him.
You talk. Gardner Minshew had 257 yards passing.
Yeah, he had an okay game. He had an okay game, but once again, it was when they needed it, they couldn't really move the ball.
How you threw that much and only got 10 points?
That's what I'm saying. Like it was soft underneath. It's just like the 49ers was, we're a little bit soft underneath, at times, but then when we need to stop you, once you get to that 50 or so, we'll make you punt. And we saw a lot of that. There was some fumbles. He had a fumble. He had a pretty bad, it was like a just like went out of his hand. So and then they picked it up and ran for a touchdown. So there was that. Or they just picked it up. Yeah, they picked it up here. So there was also he had a fumble. He had a pretty bad fumble. But yeah, I mean Gardner Minshew, he's not a starting quarterback, but this is how the league is. He's gonna be a starting quarterback. Next up, we've got Denver and Seattle. That was a close game.
Look, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Geno Smith is the biggest meme of a quarterback I've ever seen in my life. Did you see the first play?
No, I didn't. What happened? I did not. I didn't get a chance to see it.
The first play, Geno Smith drops back, hoists that bitch in the middle of the field, interception. I'm like, yo.
First play.
Geno is a troll quarterback, bro. You don't know what you're going to get out this man.
Hey, look, well, they're only paying him like, what are they paying him? I think they're only paying him like $20 million a year or something like that, or I think it's something that's cheap. So for what he gives you, I mean, you got to just go with that. I mean, you ain't gonna pay nobody, 50 something. You ain't gonna. I mean, he took a pretty small deal for his production, for like what he did that year before he got his contract. He had a pretty good year.
It's pretty decent, but that man was 18 for 25 for 170.
Yeah, it's just not a great game. No, not a great game. And then, like you said, a pick. But they did get the dub. So that was good.
I mean, it was against the Broncos, and what's his name? Bo Nix looks absolutely horrible.
He's a rookie quarterback. I mean,
yeah, but they ran a Pro Bowl type quarterback out of town to get a quarterback to to throw 26 of 42, 2 interceptions and 138 yards.
Listen, I'll say this.
Sean Payton think he's the quarterback whisperer or something, but he doesn't realize that he got lucky when Drew.
I don't know why they replaced him with Bo Nix. I mean, like I thought, if you're gonna do that, what you do is that you tank. That's what you really do. Is that you get anyone, right? You just get like a Gardner Minshew, you get like a veteran, somebody that's played. You go out there, get a Sam Darnold, and then you just tank. Like you just see what happens. Why do you
tank?
Yeah, like why would you draft Bo Nix? And like he's gonna be like the future, but like he put like 8 years in college.
Oh my God,
it was like 8-year college starter or something like that. I don't know how he got so many years. It's like 8. And I didn't see anything that made me say this is the franchise guy moving forward. And that's what you're saying. That Sean Payton hubris. If you're gonna get a quarterback, you got to get just don't draft the 5'10" quarterback number 1. That's what you just don't do that. You'll be okay. But anyway, Seahawks, they look like they're not going to be that great. This is the first year without Pete Carroll in a decade plus, right? So
I think they'll be around the 500 team.
Yeah, around 500. They were that last year, so and like the year before. So they've been around the 500 team or so every year for a while. So next up we've got
the Buccaneers. Dallas.
Okay, yeah, Dallas. They got Dallas, which I watched this game as well, and it was a beatdown. The Cowboys just got look, Dak Prescott, $60 million man, biggest contract ever in the history of pro football. $60 million. Yeah, he's making that like per millisecond. 60 million per year, 4-year extension, 240 million, all pretty much guaranteed. Dak got paid, CeeDee Lamb got paid, they brought back Zeke, the offense looked good. Cleveland had the best defense last year, and they gave it to him, man. They gave him the 1-2. This was bad. Dak looked in control. He didn't have like the most yards passing or anything like that, but when he needed to make a throw, he made it. They did try to control the ground game. They had some runs. They gave the ball to CD a few times and all that. But the big story here, because once again, Dak didn't look incredible, but the big story here is that the Browns look terrible. Deshaun Watson is looking like a $240 million bust or $200 million bust. 25 for 45, 169. Everything was flats. Everything was short passes, 2 interceptions, only 1 touchdown. He's not even like he's scrambling that great. I mean, this is bad, man. Like this is bad.
Look. Deshaun was looking good last year before he went out. Now, I'm gonna give him the same courtesy I gave Kirk Cousins.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't looking that good before he went out.
He was looking He was looking making his way back. He was looking good.
He was not looking that great. Man.
You know what I mean? Well, he was like 5-1 on his starter. What do you mean?
The defense was 5-1.
The
defense was dude. They beat the Niners with what's his face with some little I forgot the name of that quarterback. It's like an abbreviation name or whatever. PJ Walker.
Listen, I like PJ Walker.
Yeah, he's a good backup.
PJ Walker, he was balling.
They beat them because their defense and because the kicker missed the field goal at the end of the game to win.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is like I'm gonna give him the same courtesy that I gave Kirk Cousins. You got week 4 to get it together, get your feet back under you. You know what I mean? You coming off an injury. It is what it is. Your numbers were abysmal. You made some mistakes. You was getting crushed. Is Nick Chubb back yet? I don't think he's back.
No.
So yeah, you didn't have Nick Chubb, so that's that didn't help. Amari Cooper, how many targets did he get? How many targets did
Amari Cooper got a lot of targets. He dropped it was a well-thrown ball and it was in his hands. He should have caught it and it would have been a touchdown and he dropped it.
Yeah, so it's like, Amari Cooper, he's not ready. They did add Jared Judy. We'll see how that he did catch 3 balls. I think it was just a bad day at the office for them. I think it's because that defense is going to be elite.
The defense is going to be good. They like I said, they just had problems stopping Dak sometimes on third downs, and they had a problem. I mean, the running game wasn't even really anything special. I mean, Zeke had 10 carries for 40 yards. I mean, but there wasn't really anything. When I watched the game, it just seemed like they had trouble stopping Dak when they really had to stop him. Like he would make a big throw or he'd do something. They get the field goal team to get a touchdown here or there. They just kind of whittle away at them. But essentially the problem was the field position and the problem was Deshaun Watson can generate no offense. He just couldn't generate any. And he had 2 picks.
It was a bad day at the office. That's why I'm gonna choke that up too. But he got the week 4. He got the week 4 to get it together. Then I can start, slandering your ass at that point. Because then you trash at that point. So it's like
I don't think Deshaun Watson is. I think that the problem is that you have a quarterback that was okay, right? Good, actually pretty good for the Texans. But the problem is the Browns. It's like when you go to the Browns, things just something happens. But did you see the graphic? They've had 38, almost 40 quarterbacks, and it doesn't matter who it is. It's the organization. So
the thing is, you might be correct because look at what Baker Mayfield did today.
Baker Mayfield is playing out of his mind. He played good. Baker Mayfield played good last year too.
Yeah, he closed
last
season. He closed it strong.
Yeah, he played good last year. Baker Mayfield comes out today, 24 of 30, 289 yards, 4 touchdowns. And even chips in with 3 carries for 21 yards with a long of 11 on a scramble. Wow. Spoiling the debut of the Heisman Trophy winner, Jaden Daniels. Was 17 for 24, 184 yards. And he had 16 carries for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, so he was a dual threat there, but not enough. They were getting blown out. Baker Mayfield, they were it was what was it? It was 16 to, or it was 20 something to 7 for a while, but then at the very end they poured on another 2 touchdowns at the end of the game.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield is definitely the passer of the week. He's the QB thug of the week for the Emperor. He balled out. And it's a lot of people that balled out today. But Baker Mayfield balled out, and it kind of got me nervous as a Falcon fan because now we got Derek Carr playing up to his top potential, and now we got
you guys aren't winning the division. Did you?
And then we got Baker Mayfield on Sensu beans. So it's like I don't know what's going on.
The Buccaneers are going to win that division, right? I
guess they're going to win it now. I ain't got no faith in nothing.
The only thing I'd be a little bit worried about is Washington. Jaden Daniels fumbled 3 times today, so got to hold on to that ball. A lot of fumbles. Oh, okay. Hold up here. Luke McCaffrey getting in the game. Okay. 3 receptions for 18 yards on 3 targets. So all 3 targets, all receptions, long of 10. That's obviously Christian McCaffrey's
I think the biggest problem here that I've seen out of Commanders, Why did you bring Austin Eckler to the team?
Austin
If Austin
Eckler,
Eckler is only going to get the ball 2 times.
they gave him 2 carries for 6 yards or 10 yards. And then, but he seems like he's like the third down reception back because he did lead the team in receiving yards, which you said he was a great receiver out of the backfield, and he's showing that.
Yeah,
so he did.
Austin Eckler is a dual threat. Austin Eckler was bowling people over in the Chargers.
I don't think he's better than Brian Robinson Jr. though. Like as a runner, I don't think he's better than Brian. I mean, that guy got shot.
I think he is.
That guy got shot and came back and played pretty good.
I don't give a damn. Austin Eckler, you need to see what Austin Eckler was doing.
I saw what Austin Eckler did. And
but I think you don't bring Austin Eckler to only give him the ball.
You brought him in to be a receiving back.
Nah, he has to touch the ball way more than that.
You brought him in to be a receiving back because Brian Robinson Jr. is pretty good. He's a good back.
Brian Robinson Jr. is good, but he's not Austin Eckler.
I think I think Brian Robinson Jr. is better than Austin Eckler. I just think that Austin Eckler got a lot of touches and a lot of play for the Chargers. I think Brian Robinson Jr. might be a little bit better as a pure runner. Not as a receiver in the backfield.
Austin Eckler is a legit dual threat. He could run between the tackles. He could run on the outside. He could catch the ball in the backfield. He could catch the ball deep. Nah, bro.
Brian Robinson had 3 receptions for 49 yards at a long of 32.
Eckler needs to be. Eckler is so small and so elusive. No, you got to get him more in the game plan. Like I agree. I don't know what y'all doing over there in Washington.
He needs more than 2. I agree. He needs more than 2 carries. I do agree that he needs more than 2. So, okay. Well, that was that. The Bucks beat the brakes off the. Well, not beat. I mean, they beat him by 17. So I mean, it's a 2 score.
He beat the brakes off.
Yeah, I kind of beat the brakes out of him. And we're gonna go to the final game here. The final game was the game that finished up overtime was the Rams and Detroit. I watched this game on and off. I was just kind of a little bit busy, but I did watch a lot of the game. And Jared Goff. The pick that he threw, I did not like the picks from Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford here.
There was 2 boneheaded picks by both of these guys.
One of them was red zone,
and one was in the end zone. Yeah, Stafford's was in the end zone.
Was red zone pick. Jared Goff was at a really bad time, but they ended up getting the dub. I mean, Matthew Stafford. It seems like they can just generate offense whenever. It seems so automatic without Puka Nacua in for I think the whole second half or so. Like Cooper Kupp just said, all right, I'm good. 14 receptions, 110 yards, touchdown. He had 21 targets. He had 21 targets. My goodness.
The fact of the matter is that
running back.
The fact of the matter is that they know the ball is coming to you and you still get it anyway.
One guy slipped like slipped on a banana peel. Seems like he just slipped. But yeah, Stafford played good. I mean, 317 yards. I think that's the first 300-yard passer that we've had for this week. I think that's the only one, which is interesting. You would think that there'd be more, but no, I think Stafford's the only 300-yard passer. 1 pick, 1 touchdown. Golf was 18 for 28, 217, 1 pick, 1 touchdown. Montgomery ran hard. I know, in that overtime, Montgomery ran hard. He had 17 carries for 91 yards, touchdown, long of 21. Gibbs was still the speedster that he is. Gibbs was looking pretty dangerous, catching the ball and running the ball. But yeah, no Puka Nacua definitely hurt. No Puka Nacua for the second half hurt because that's basically like a Cooper Kupp light or like a Cooper Kupp alternate. That's on the other side. And when you don't have him in, that definitely makes things one-dimensional where they're just targeting Cooper Kupp the whole time, which still couldn't stop him. But at the same time, I mean, when it became, hey, we needed to get this stop and we needed to kind of clamp down, they were able to get that. So, Rams looking like their offense is going to be great. Their defense didn't look too terrible. I wanted to see how it held up without Aaron Donald. And it was okay. It wasn't too bad.
I mean, these are just 2 teams who are, in my eyes, they're kind of mirror images of one another. They're kind of built the same way. They both have good defenses. They both got solid secondaries. They both have great offenses. I mean, it was kind of like mirror images. I think the Lions are just slightly better than the Rams are, in my eyes. What we got out of this are kind of just like 2 teams that were evenly matched. You know what I mean? And the quarterbacks making uncharacteristic, boneheaded interceptions that they usually don't make. So it's like it's. But at the end of the day, the right team won. In my eyes. So I think that they're the better team anyway. But the 49ers going to have their hands full with the Rams this season in that division for sure.
Yeah, they had their hands full last year. It wasn't freebies. They definitely was not freebies last year. Even though Brock Purdy, I think, is perfect against the NFC West. I mean, at some point he's got to lose a game.
Oh my God! You just had to throw that out there, didn't you? You just had to throw that out there, didn't you?
I'm just saying he is perfect against the NFC West, man. He is perfect against the NFC West. So that was the recap. That was the show for tonight, guys. Man, that was super fun, Baron. We got a little bit of a preview we're going to do real quick before we log off, guys. Jets versus the 49ers, Monday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers returns after exploding his Achilles last year, doing absolutely nothing.
I don't know why I'm laughing, but that shit was so funny. Listen, you gotta understand, bro. You gotta understand why I'm laughing. I'm not laughing because Aaron Rodgers broke his ankle or ripped his Achilles off his bone. I'm laughing for the simple fact that they planned this whole damn spectacle. In this big elaborate entrance, this man carried in a fucking flag only to blow his face.
He was carrying that flag too much. He wore his ankle down.
Only to blow his ankle on the damn plate. That's the funniest I ever seen in my life for an image. I'm like, yo, I bet they gonna plan no elaborate thing like that again.
No, he just needs to walk onto the field.
Yeah, just walk onto the field because we did way too much.
Yeah,
they hyped that up
field
so much last year for Aaron Rodgers being there.
Well, Aaron Rodgers is another year older. I mean, Niners had all sorts of off-season stuff. Brandon Ayuk apparently, new report today, was about to be traded to the Steelers, but then at the last second called it off and said, no, let's get the deal done. And they took the deal that was on the table, apparently. Brandon Ayuk did not want to go play for the Steelers. And you see the quarterback play for the Steelers? Yeah, he would want to go play for that. He did not want to go there at all. And he vetoed the trade to the Browns, which I would have liked that trade. That would have been a better trade for Amari Cooper. And I think it was a second and a third, it was either a third and a fifth or a second and a fifth. Anyway, Trent Williams, apparently Ricky Pearsall, when he got shot, Trent Williams was like, hey, man, I got to come back. That's what Trent Williams says. He said it inspired him, so he took the deal that they gave him, more guaranteed money. But the Niners are back. Christian McCaffrey's been limited with the calf strain, but it looks like he's going to play. Brock Purdy obviously looked kind of shaky at times in preseason, but it's preseason. And yeah, the Niners are pretty much returning the same team, although they did kind of overhaul a little bit of their defense. They got a couple rookies. They got this Mustafa guy that played really good. Reminds me of, I want to say like Troy Polamalu, but definitely like a hard-hitting, strong safety, come up, make plays. They got Trevarius Ward, great corner. They've got Demonor Lenore, great corner. They've got good corner.
Damn, you just know everybody on the 49ers, huh?
Yeah, I know the team. I know the
49ers, huh?
And like they're looking at Ambry Thomas, who was the starting corner last year. He's out and he's not very good. So that's good. They've got some guys. They drafted a corner that's looking. I forgot the name of him, but he's looking pretty good. He looked good in preseason. He was making some plays.
Why you can't be this thorough with every other team? Why are you only this thorough with the 49ers?
I was pretty thorough with some of them.
No, you naming people that you naming fourth stringers now. Like what are we doing? Yeah, he was good. He ran a 140. He's like what? Like, I don't even know who you're talking about here. Like,
you don't know Demonor Lenore? You don't know Lenore?
Like, what are we talking about?
I don't know. I gotta ask, like, why would his parents name him Demodor? Like, I don't know. I got a question about that. About Demodor. Like, I don't know. They were playing like a video game or something. I don't know. Is it Demodor?
I don't know how to pronounce his name. But anyway, the preview of this thing while OJ over here fantasizing and glazing the 49ers like he usually does. Yeah, BC, you late. We already talked about the Giants. We gave it to the Giants. You're gonna have to watch the stream, the replay. We already gave it to the Giants and Daniel Jones. But yeah, as OJ glazes over the 49ers, let's talk about these Jets, okay? These Jets are still built to win now. That defense is elite. It is high caliber defense over there. They still have receiving options. They still got great receivers. Running back is a little bit of a questionable thing. But if Aaron Rodgers shows up as Aaron Rodgers that we know, this team is going to be a threat to Kansas City Chiefs and to the Houston Texans for the AFC. And if Aaron Rodgers show up, the Aaron Rodgers we know, the 49ers are going to lose this game by at least 2 touchdowns. So that's how I feel about it. That's how I see it.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Just real quick. What's Aaron Rodgers' record against the 49ers?
Listen, we don't know his record against Brock Purdy, but we about to find out. So I'm gonna put that to you, okay?
I mean,
and I'm gonna give realistic reasons here. I think first of all, who's at home? Is the 49ers at home or is the Jets at home?
49ers are at home.
Okay, the 49ers at home. So he has to go into hostile territory because y'all some ghetto ratchet people out there in the Bay.
I think you're thinking of Oakland.
Nah, I'm thinking of y'all. Oakland ain't a thing no more. They in Las Vegas. I'm
just saying. I'm thinking you're thinking of Oakland, like in San Fran, like you're thinking of like that side.
No.
Okay.
But the thing is, I think as we look at these two teams, I think the Jets definitely have the better defense than the 49ers. The Jets are hugely stacked on the defensive side. The defense still showed up last year. I have no reason to believe that they're not going to show up this year. Honestly, for this game on Monday Night Football, I think it's probably going to be a lower scoring than people would like. But there's going to be 2 magnifying glasses going on. There's going to be one magnifying glass on Aaron Rodgers. Is he too old? Can he still deliver that MVP caliber, talent, that MVP caliber numbers like we know him? And the other magnifying glass is going to be on Brock Purdy. Is Brock Purdy a game manager, like Cam Newton said, or is he a game changer? And we're going to get the answer to those 2 questions tomorrow because I'm really
got the answer last year.
No, we didn't get the answer last year. No, we ain't got it. No, the question is still out on Brock Purdy. I watched it. I watched him literally get lucky 2 playoff games in a row. I watched that. Yes, I did see that. Okay. I saw that.
Lucky 2. Okay. Well, here's the thing. Here's what I'll say. Brock Purdy, that's true. I think that there is still some questions out there. But if you look at it overall, like Brock Purdy, his play, his ball positioning, his scrambling ability is underrated. I think Brock Purdy is a great quarterback. I think he's a solid, good to great quarterback that makes good decisions, that's smart with the ball, that has a very good touch. Sometimes he can get those dig routes into Kittle, hit the flats, like the outside the hash to IU.
Now hitting the flats is a good thing. We've been dogging flats all show. Now hitting the flats is a good thing.
I meant like outside the hash. That's what I meant. Like in the boundaries outside the hash to IU, those plays, stuff like that. I mean, obviously you still got Debo. So the Niners are loaded, man. They're loaded, but it's not about being loaded. It's about winning now. At this point, it's all or nothing. It's either this season or bust because you got to pay Purdy. I think next year you got to pay Purdy, and they're not going to have enough money to keep everybody. Then you got to pay Warner coming up soon, so you're not going to have enough money to keep everybody. So they've got to win the Super Bowl now, and then they've got to basically, then they could offload a few guys. Right. I mean, Debo's probably gone after this year, so that he's gonna get a big deal somewhere else. So you got to win it now. Like there's no more Super Bowl or NFC Championship. They've got to win it now, and they need to be dominant. I need to see them beat the hell out of the Jets. And I need to see them beat the hell out of every team that they play. I don't want any of this, close game. No, it needs, if I will be a toxic Niner fan if they're sitting here and they're losing to people that they shouldn't lose to. I don't care if McCaffrey plays
will
or
be.
not.
I think you already are a toxic Niner fan.
I'm not a toxic Niner fan. I'm not.
Yeah,
I am saying this.
Every time Brock Purdy, Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy, he's he played good last year. What I'm trying to say is that they should beat all their teams that they play. Like with Debo, with Ayuk, with Trent
Let me look
Williams.
at your schedule because
they should beat. They should go
out.
They should go 17-0.
Schedule real
look at
quick.
Look at the schedule. 49ers.
Let me see this schedule. Let's see this 49ers schedule because you are really capping right now. These 49ers, bro. They need to beat every team they play.
They should beat every team that they play.
You trying to get the undefeated season like the Patriots?
They should beat every team that they play.
Okay, where is this? Why ain't it low?
I see the schedule. They play the Jets.
I'm finna pull it up. Hold on. I'm finna pull it. I want to see it on my
Okay, I'm just telling the fan. I'm just telling the audience.
Just hold up. Let me. It's loading. Let me load this thing up. Cool. Okay. Now keep in mind, we don't know what teams are going to be good or bad yet. We only got a week 1. This is why I wait to week 4. Yeah. After about week 4, you kind of know what the team is.
They should go 17-0.
Do you hear this man? Chat, do you hear this guy?
They should. I'm not saying that they will.
Chat, do you hear this man, bro?
They
like
should.
He's trying to say I'm saying ridiculous, stupid stuff.
They should beat the Jets.
Said 17-0, bro.
They should beat the Vikings
with a straight face.
They should beat the Rams.
Okay.
They should beat the Patriots. They should beat the Cardinals.
Let's go through this. Let's go through this. Let's go through
Jets,
this.
Jets versus 49ers.
Jets versus 49ers. Let's be honest here.
49ers should win.
Let's be honest. The Jets are not a pushover team. This is a good challenging team.
Who's picking? Nobody's picking the Jets to beat the 49ers.
I just picked the Jets to win this game.
Well, then you're gonna lose. They're gonna lose.
I don't know. I just think I've seen enough of Brock Purdy when he has to go up against an elite defense. He ain't proved to me that he can overcome that.
Lots of people beat the Jets and their elite defense last year.
I mean, they had no offense, literally. So it's like
I'm not sold on Aaron Rodgers. Even Aaron Rodgers last year in Green Bay wasn't that great. So
I'm not sold on him yet. He has to prove to me, especially at Achilles. After seeing what Kirk Cousins did, he definitely has to prove it to me. Well, the Vikings, I don't know. Sam Darnold was clapping cheeks.
Oh my gosh! Against the Giants. Come on.
Then they got to play the Rams. The Rams ain't no joke.
They're gonna beat. They're undefeated against them.
The Patriots. That's a good defense there. I can say that in week 1.
Jacoby Brissett.
But Jacoby, I'll give y'all that one for right now.
Are the Niners going to start the season 1-3?
1-3? No, I think no. These are toss-up games to me. The Jets is a toss-up game. Obviously, y'all should beat the Vikings. I'm just playing about the Sam Darnold clapping cheeks, but it would be funny if he did. The Rams is a toss-up game. That could go either way. Okay. I think the Patriots is a toss-up game because we see the Patriots are coached
at
differently
San Francisco,
now.
By the way. That's at
San Francisco. They are at San Francisco, but they beat the Bengals in the Bengals stadium.
Oh my gosh. Joe Burrow plays like a third-grade quarterback at the beginning of the season. That is not the real Bengals.
So Cardinals showed today that they are back. They're not no pushover team, and that's a division game. Division games are always more chippy anyway.
Okay.
Seahawks, that's a division game. Then the Chiefs. The beginning of y'all schedule is not easy.
Well, I meant to say they're going to go 16-1. That's what I meant to say.
The beginning of y'all schedule is not. Oh, the Chiefs. Then you got the Chiefs after that. Oh, you got the Chiefs, Cowboys, Buccaneers. That's three in a row right there.
That's a brutal 3-game stretch.
That's a brutal 3-game stretch. Then another division game. Then the Packers. Then the Bills. Oh, you got the Bears on you. You got the Bears on there, so that's happy for that. You got to play the Dolphins, schedule. The Lions. Oh my God, bro! They're not. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was just joking.
Yo, bro, that's a dream.
I was just okay.
The 49ers would be lucky if they win 10 games. I'm being so honest with you. If they get to 10, I would be shocked.
No, here's what they're actually going to be. They're going to beat the Jets. They're going to beat the Vikings. They're going to beat the Rams. They're going to beat the Patriots. They're going to beat the Cardinals. They're going to beat the Seahawks. They're going to lose to the Chiefs. They're going to lose the Super Bowl rematch to the Chiefs. Okay?
Oh my God! So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-0 is what you're telling me.
Yeah, they did that.
They're going to start the season 6. Do you hear this, chat?
Yeah,
chat. Do y'all hear this man talking about the
49ers? Go 6-0. They're going to lose. They'll probably lose to it's at 49ers, so they might win that game. I'm going to say it's a bit of a toss-up. 49ers could want revenge. They're going to beat the Cowboys. That's at San Francisco. They got a lot of tough games, but a lot of their toughest games are at San Francisco. That's the funny thing. Like that's like, okay.
You're going to beat this the regular season Cowboys now. This ain't the playoff Cowboys.
Yeah, they smashed the Cowboys last year in the regular season too.
Do you don't think they want to come back for blood after that? I remember that game.
But the 49ers have a better roster. Buccaneers, they're going to beat the Buccaneers.
Oh, the Buccaneers they're going to shred the hell out of you.
No,
and that's in Tampa.
They're going to beat the Buccaneers. They're going to beat the Seahawks. They're going to beat the Seahawks. They're going to beat the Packers.
So are you going to lose any division games? Like you're going to go win every division game.
They've been winning all the division games ever since Brock Purdy got there. They've been he's never lost. They lost one division, and that was like because it was they were playing backups. It's like it didn't matter versus the Rams last year. Bills, they might lose to the Bills. I'm saying they might.
You're going to be at the Bills in December.
Exactly.
You're going to be snowing like you lose.
Yeah, they're going to lose to the Bills. So I have them losing that game. Maybe Bears. They're going to beat the Bears. It's at San Francisco. They're going to beat the Rams.
In the Bears at all.
They're gonna beat the Dolphins at the Dolphins. They're gonna beat them.
Nah,
and they're gonna beat the Lions, and that's at San Francisco.
Hell no, y'all shouldn't beat them last time y'all played them. So no, you're definitely not.
It's at San Francisco. They're gonna beat them.
It don't matter where it's at. That team had y'all dead to rights.
The Niners.
Brock Purdy was in a box.
Are gonna go.
So it was.
They're gonna go about like 14-3, or they're gonna go 14-3. I'm gonna say
hear this man
14 and 3.
Capping. This man is glazing these 49ers. Like, bro, this is one of the toughest schedules.
Niners are a good
in the NFL. Like
the Niners are a good team.
This is tough, bro. And I'm being 100% with you. And this is just basing because every year we got a few teams that come out of nowhere and they end up being great teams. We just don't know what those teams will be. But it happens every season. So, but as of right now, as it looks, this looks very tough schedule, but it might end up not being a tough schedule as we go in the season because
hey, look,
some teams rises, some teams fall. So.
I'm pretty confident. I mean, people said that about the Niners last year, and look, they had a pretty bad stretch in the middle. Like they had like a 3-game stretch where after they blasted the Cowboys, but they started the year last year. They started the year. What was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They started the year 5-0. Then they had that 2-point loss to the Browns, which they should have won that game. Then that Vikings game where they were just getting destroyed by Kirk Cousins, 17-22. But it was still a close game at the end. The Bengals blew them out. They were just getting Joe Burrow 31-17, and then they blew out the Jaguars. They beat the Bucks. They blew out the Seahawks. Blew out the Eagles. Beat the Seahawks again. Blew out the Cardinals. Got blown out by the Ravens, beat the Commanders, beat the Rams, beat them, but that game they already locked up the number 1 seed, so it didn't matter. And then they beat the Packers, they beat the Lions, and they lost to the Chiefs by 3 points. So I mean, I think that this year they're going to be better. I think Brock Purdy gets better this year. I think that he gets, he's still a young quarterback. Brock Purdy can still get better. He can still get better. Like I said, if Brock Purdy was a number 1,
he could already peaked.
If Brock Purdy, okay, let's just be real. If Brock Purdy was a first-round draft pick, would you be saying this about him? Because I've never, in the history of the NFL, I've never heard of a first-round draft pick ever saying it's about everybody else. But since it's Brock Purdy's not a first-round draft pick, it's because he's like Mr. Irrelevant. That's the reason why, right? Like, what first-round draft pick has ever played as good as Brock Purdy played last year? And they say it's because everybody else, not him. I can't think of any first-round draft pick.
Well, I mean, let's put it like this. Brock Purdy gets this type of conversation because of people like you and all your media heads that think like you that try to put him in the MVP conversation. This is why he's getting the scrutiny he gets, and he's not kind of getting treated fairly. So I agree with you. He's not getting treated actually fairly, but the talk around him is y'all hoisting him up too high than when he doesn't need to be yet. That's the point. He ain't proven to be in those conversations yet, but y'all put him in that conversation. So everybody's looking at him in a different light.
So
they can't look at him as like a first-year rookie quarterback.
But
like I said,
who has ever played as good as Brock Purdy as a first-round draft pick that they said it was about everybody else and not he didn't help? I have never seen it before. Burrow has great help. He had Mixon, he had all these guys, he had TJ or the Higgins He has Jamar Chase. He has all these great receivers. And like when Burrow went to the Super Bowl, they're like, oh, it's Burrow, because he's a first-round draft pick. That's really it. And Troy Aikman said the same thing. Troy Aikman, Hall of Famer, said, if Brock Purdy was a first-round draft pick, we wouldn't be saying all this stuff. So even somebody who's been there, done that, has said that. He said the same thing. And I think it's true. If Brock Purdy was let's just say Brock Purdy was the third pick in the draft somehow. Let's say that Trey Lance thing. Let's just say that was Brock Purdy instead of Trey Lance. Or let's just say Trey Lance did what Brock Purdy's doing. Would we be sitting here saying people would be like, he was the third pick in the draft. He's so good. You know that's what they'd be saying if Trey Lance was doing what Brock Purdy did. You know that's what
I wouldn't have said it.
Oh my God, that's a lot.
First of all, Trey Lance reminds me of another scrambling type of quarterback, so I definitely wouldn't have said it.
I'm saying if Trey Lance had the exact same season that Brock Purdy had, yards, everything down to the T,
I'll be saying the same thing. I wouldn't be different.
Who have you said that with? You can't think of another example of anybody that you've actually said that about as a first round draft pick, but you say the same thing. There has to look, the NFL's been around for a long time. There's been a lot of seasons. Think of someone that you said, you know what? That's everybody else as a first round draft pick. You can't think of a time. Come on.
Listen.
At the end about Burrow, you ain't saying about Burrow. You're not saying about him.
I'm gonna tell you like my girl Big Glow told me. At the end of the day gonna end.
No, yeah, but you were positive on Caleb Williams. you were positive. You're like, oh, Caleb Williams, he's a rookie. He's a rookie. He can do that 91 yards.
Bruh, I said I'm gonna give him a break on week 1 because he's a rookie. I didn't say he's gonna get a pass the whole season.
Okay. I'm just saying, like when it's a high draft pick.
I'm fair.
But Brock Purdy, since he's a bum, he's a bum that got drafted.
I didn't say it was a bum.
You treat him like a bum.
No, he's better. Listen, I think Brock Purdy's better than Lamar Jackson.
Brock Purdy has not earned the right to say that he's better than Lamar Jackson.
Because to me, Lamar Jackson is not a good quarterback.
Because Lamar Jackson's a 2-time MVP. But you're right, you're right in one thing. Brock Purdy's been, I think he has more playoff victories than Lamar, and he's been to Super Bowl. Lamar has not. But also, Brock Purdy, he's lost to, just like Lamar, he's lost to Patrick Maholmes. So the Niners can't beat Pat. Nobody can beat Patrick Mahomes. The only person that can do is Tom Brady. Tom Brady's the only person. Joe Burrow once. So yeah, man.
I'm put it like this. That's all a matchup. So now I think the last thing we need to do, give your prediction so we could come back and get a laugh later on in the season on what your predictions were. Who's your Super Bowl pick?
My Super Bowl pick.
I usually pick 4. I pick 2 NFC teams, 2 AFC teams. Then I pick 1 to actually win the Super Bowl. So I don't know how you would do it, but that's usually how I do it. But it's early enough, so we got to figure out what's your early picks. If you just sold on 1 pick, it could be 1 pick. But I usually do 2 NFC, 2 AFC. Then I pick 1 to actually win the Super Bowl. Who's your picks? Beginning of the season, so we could come back when the season is over.
Yeah, and, my pick for the Super Bowl. Yeah, my pick for the Super Bowl is 49ers versus the Chiefs again. I'm going to go with 49ers versus Chiefs. And I'm going to go with Niners winning it.
Chat, do y'all hear this, man? Chat, do y'all hear this, man? Pick the 49ers to go to the Super Bowl and win it.
Yes, 49ers
and
versus
win
Chiefs. Yes, 49ers versus Chiefs, 49ers win. Super Bowl.
All right, well, I'm going to put it to you like this. My AFC matchup for this AFC championship is going to be Chiefs and the Texans. My NFC matchup, what I want to go with, my gut, and I don't have this just, beginning of the season, I don't have much to really go off of, and it's probably would change midway through, but I think I'm gonna go with the Lions and the Saints. I think I've seen enough of that. The Lions, yeah, the Saints. I say the Saints because I think in that division they can rack up a lot of wins, and all you got to do is really get enough wins to get that bye. So, you get that bye, that's all you need.
If you get that bye, that's all you need. So I think I'm looking at division and how the division has to play out. I think they can rack up a lot of wins in that division. I think they have. I think even though the Bucks are pretty good too, the Falcons will still be decent. They'll be a pretty decent team. They'll all beat up on Carolina, but when they play each other, I think the Saints will actually edge the Bucks and being a better team. So I'm gonna pick the Saints and the Lions. The Lions showed me that they're still the same team from last year, so I don't think they drop off really much at all. So, and I think the 49ers get beat by the Detroit Lions in the playoffs if they make it. So,
okay,
but
I think you're gonna be. I think you're
pick,
gonna be surprised with how good the Niners defense is.
Super Bowl pick.
The Niners defense last year was actually like their run defense was porous against the Packers and against the Lions. They're not going to be that bad this year. So
we'll see. But I think it's the Lions and the Saints. You know what I mean? I don't really feel comfortable picking the Super Bowl pick because it's like I can't pick nobody outside the Chiefs. It's like I just can't make any prediction outside the Chiefs, and I don't want to do that. But I will make my Super Bowl pick by week 6. I don't like to get too deep in the season and be like, oh, I'm gonna pick this guy for the Super Bowl. And it's like, oh no shit, Sherlock. Look at the records now. Of course you're gonna pick them, but probably about week 5, I'll pick who I want to go, and I might make some adjustments. We'll see if these teams even be in contention by that time. But I think all 4 of these teams will be in contention by that time, around week 5. Yeah, I think I'm all in on the Saints. I think I've seen enough today to actually put them out there. And the thing is, I don't just look at the talent and how they can win games. I look at also the schedule and who they got to play. If you just beat up on your division, that's an easy 6 games. You know what I mean? That's easy 5 to 6 games you got to add to your total wins. So it's like, I feel like they're probably going to really rack up wins in that division. I don't think the 49ers rack up wins in that division easily that y'all like. So I got the 49ers under 10 games. I got them like 9 games. I think that's what they're going to be at.
All right. Well, we'll see.
I think y'all probably still get in though.
All right.
Even though it's very hard to get in if you don't get.
We'll see. We'll see how the season plays out. But all right, guys, we are gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching this first one. We're gonna have the episodes. We're gonna have if you missed some of it, we're gonna have it cut up and put out throughout the week. So look forward to that. We'll have another live stream probably next week going over everything. So I want to say thank you, Baron, for joining me. I appreciate that. Thank you to everybody that came out in the chat here. You guys were awesome. And yeah, we'll see you guys back for another one going over next week. All right, guys.
And before you go, hit that like button.
Yes, hit that like button before you go. I haven't really been checking anything just because I was looking at so much stuff just to get ready for this stream. But yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button. We already have, I think, 20 something. We never had more than 20 people watching at any one point, but we have 25 plus likes. So definitely more people were coming in and watching throughout the stream. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, hit that like button. We'll be back again. Just hit the like button, subscribe, because
subscribe.
We're basically gonna iron this out.
Yeah,
we're gonna iron it out.
We'll get better as the season goes along and as I get more stuff situated and set. So, and we'll have content for you guys. I'll have videos for you guys and all that during the week. So, thanks so much for watching, guys. Subscribe, like button, all that good stuff. And yeah, we'll see you for the next stream, which should be next week, and of course, content throughout the week. All right, guys. Bye, everybody. Hey, Baron, how's your Falcons, dude?
Rise up. I'm sure Kirk Cousins better rise the hell up.
I think he's gonna rise down. I think he's gonna go down, man. He's gonna go down, dude.